Can I be seen okay? Can I be heard okay? That's the question. Welcome one, welcome all to a stream in Poland. Who knew that I could do this kind of thing? Yeah, Capital. You know, I don't want to get copyrighted. Am I right? You know. So yeah, I don't want to get copyrighted. So I like to know if you can all hear me okay. Do I hear loud enough? Sorry, do I hear loud enough? I mean, am I loud enough for you guys? Yeah. So let's see how we get on, and yeah. So we're gonna do some. Excuse me. God. Yeah, I hope everybody can hear me. Yeah, basically, I'm just going to watch the broadcast from Sunday and just go through essentially my casting and how I didn't stop at moments that I think could have been a lot better, could have been better, and moments I think were pretty good as well. And you know, it's purely on my own casting, and it's not for me to obviously judge anybody else's. Hey Liddy, how you getting on? But yeah, it's cool to kind of, you know, do this and to have something interesting out there and just try to. So I'm just Hey Niraj, how you getting on? Okay, I need to make sure. There you go. Yeah, I have myself muted. Okay, cool. Why have chroma key with a border? Because it has my logo on the border. Celestial Brothers, you know, if you want, I can remove it. If it would please your eyes more, I can remove the chroma key border. You know. Like, if that would be more satisfactory to your needs. Also, I've realized I just need to lift that up a little bit so I can lean in a bit more. So yeah. Okay. Oh, I can pop out the chat. Cool. Cool. Okay. From where you got the green screen, it's I actually use a program called VCam XSplit. Or XSplit VCam. Hey Jiggy, how you getting on? Thank you very much for the follow. By the way, I don't have any alerts set up or anything like that. Because you know, I'm streaming from my laptop as opposed to my actual computer and stuff like that, so I haven't got that all set up. How are all of you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Okay. Hey, new master Pranshu, how you getting on? Okay, so let's get into this. Let's watch some videos of PUBG Mobile. Doing good. Just got. Oh, you got accepted into the army. Congrats, man. When are you going to be? Oh, you're going to be starting in 2 months. Wow, man. How long are you going to be in the army for? Kind of thing. Okay. That's a recap. PUBG Mobile East Player of the Week. That's rerun. East, is that that was 1 day ago. Okay, let's put on that. Okay. By the way, I need to know if this is if the sound is also, I don't know how well the quality is gonna be, but it should be okay. Okay, we did the last 3 games, so it's after.
Guys,
okay.
You guys clearly don't remember my programs. Don't you remember when Synergy Day had the 3 most central?
Hey, did ya? Big guy, how you getting on? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the balance is like between week 2, day 5. I can point something after this analysis.
This was a crazy.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know.
It was just chaotic. This is also the first
what the sound balance is like. So
it goes down to the last circle, shrinking down to nothing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes, actually, that's true.
Even though we had a lot of urban endings, because usually those.
Views on Orange Rock Gill. He's a fantastic player.
Car towards the wall.
Okay.
Like a corner to the wall. Smoke lined up. Put pressure on TSM. Easy.
And
that's a win.
Actually, I'm not gonna put it on full screen, but I will put it on.
Let's see.
Oh!
Biggotron Red Aliens is
I will
back
put it on
top
theater
with
mode.
3 points in it, and then Box
There you
Gaming
go.
is 4 points behind RRQ
Cool.
Athena.
It's all within.
Oh my god.
7 points.
This was so like you really couldn't have asked for a better. You couldn't have asked for a better top 3 from that point of view. Not a better top 3, but a better like you couldn't have asked for like you know how close they are together.
Like with a good game from them, they could actually also jump.
Just absolutely fantastic. Is it lagging? My camera might be lagging.
King of Gamers Club there.
Because my laptop isn't the most powerful, so it might not be able to handle.
If they had an average day yesterday,
ooh, encoding overloaded.
I hope you heard my squeal of excitement just before. Because
I heard that. I decided to ignore it because it was so squealy.
It was too squealy for you. That's right.
Is it kind of laggy for you guys?
We got another game coming, and we will be going
one more Miramar.
One more Miramar, and then
I might turn my camera off though.
Coming up as well.
Then.
This is getting spicy.
I mean, yesterday I was like, this is gonna be a crazy weekend, but then kind of some weird games. But now, we're getting into it.
We're into it.
Yesterday.
Yeah, but the YouTube video is directly affected by
some really great games.
Let's do it then. We are going over to
Let's change the quality then.
Other casters, it's Imperium and Maxman. Other casters is a weird phrase. There you go.
I've been called worse. Tell you what, prepare for trouble and make it double. Imperium. Back at it again for the third game of the last Super Weekend here in the PMWL. We were meant to high five, but just didn't really feel right. But you know, thought that worked out better than we didn't do. Otherwise, we have.
I need to stop moving. I move from side to side. Okay, let me see if my webcam makes it better or worse. But anyway, yeah, I tend to like move around too much when I'm on. I'll move from side to side. It's just I don't know why I do that. It's an automatic like reaction. Hey, negative space, how you getting on?
See who's going to be the final king of the desert map known as Miramar. Yes.
Team Secret pulling off a BTR, right? The reason why I say that is because when we saw the league days last week, day 1, BTR had a really shocking day in 19th space, came back. Second day, won 2 games in a row, first 2 games. Team Secret, bad day yesterday, really bad day. Like Frost said, 18 points in 5 games. Comes in today, knocks it out of the park by winning the first 2 games. What a turnaround.
Like, that's something that I wanted to, because as much as the focus had TSM are super strong, as much as yeah, but moving around is good, but when I move from side to side as if I'm, you know, trying to balance myself, it just looks really shit though. Like, hey Kishan. But yeah, one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that even though the focus was on the top 3, that I still gave some context or some, you know, I wanted to give some storyline to Team Secret and other teams, because I wanted to make sure that it was, you know, yeah, okay, the focus is on the top 3, but, you know, to try and set up some other mini storylines that would hopefully develop throughout the rest of the day. And plus, they were still close on points, so I wanted to touch upon that, and especially as Froz had mentioned it, And that's something that we always try to do as casters, is that we try to listen out for some really obviously interesting things that the analyst desk will say, because we want to, we can then say, hey, so like Avenger said, like Frost said, hey, Mr. Noob, you know, it helps create that connection between the casters and the analyst desk. So instead of them maybe feeling separate from each other, it's like we're all one cohesive unit, so we're listening to each other, and it's been the other way around as well. So it's really cool. Okay, so let's continue on then.
I think like the big teams, they have like a bad, they're like, okay, you know what, we got to make it up to the fans, got to make it up to the viewers to have some good performances.
By the way,
they come in.
This first game, me and Max were trying something not kind of radical, but we're a casting duo that has naturally developed to be kind of a little bit more 50-50 in terms of, like, you know, 50% you know, between each other. We try and balance between color casting and play-by-play. Even though he primarily does play-by-play and I primarily do color casting, we try and give each other that space. But we were trying something really radical where he did most of the play-by-play and I did most of the color casting. But we both kind of agreed it felt really weird. So yeah, it's something that we need to work on, you know. So yeah.
And they just absolutely stomped the entire lobby, like just like as you just said, like they did a Bigatron, 2 chicken dinners back to back. Now the question is, are they going to do a Yudu gank and get themselves 3 chicken dinners in a row?
Yeah.
That's the question to be answered. But Imperium, the playing path a little bit northern. Not going to be too troublesome whatsoever. Bigatron, of course, they're going to go for Picardo, not going to be contested whatsoever. But what are you going to keep your eyes open for? That's especially the fight that could happen in San Martin, because I'm seeing one team over there. That is actually Nova Godlike with T1. Normally it's Valdez the Murder over there. And Valdez are there too.
We
got 3.
I don't know if they're directly in San Martin or if not on the north side. It's a little bit hard because it's zoomed out for now. Is Team IND, who've gotten a couple of strong results, but they haven't been able to drop as south of Los Leones as they normally like to, so they're kind of connecting with King of Gamers.
Stop. 420 is clearly not working. It's clearly not working. Just leave concept alone.
What do you think about IND? Aren't they changing too much? They stopped playing their IGL Kratos and suddenly Slayer's IGLing. Look, it's hard for me to comment exactly on IND, but from what I'm seeing, over the last 2 to 3 days, they're actually playing a lot stronger and a little bit more aggressive, and in my opinion, it's kind of paying off. Hey, Drew, how you getting on?
Get back to the compound and get some loot. There you go. That'll be fine.
Maybe he was like, hey man, you want to lift, man? Yeah, you know, this is the hippie van, dude. You know?
Is that a reference to something?
You know, like hippie vans.
I thought it was a reference to like a movie
vans.
Quote or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
you get your quotes from
like hippie,
weird places.
You know? Yeah, I do. It says the one that loves anime.
It's not a weird place.
It is.
You guys know the roles of each and every player. No, to be honest, Marta, we don't. But here's the thing: within reason, I'd like to think that we don't necessarily need to know the roles of every single player. For sure, knowing the IGL can really help add a lot of context to situations. But you know, can you explain that a bit with? I already forgot casting thingy who's doing mostly what. Oh, Lily. So Maxman mainly does the play-by-play, and the play-by-play is the hype parts, right? It's the kind of like, it's the, oh my god, what happened here? And I mainly do the color casting, which is breaking the team fights down, breaking down, you know, positioning and stuff like that. But we also do relatively you know, similar, you know, yeah.
It is.
It's not your weird.
And yeah, I was pretty happy with that hippie dude
I don't know
skin. I was just like, yeah, man, gotta add a little bit of humor in there.
Would you like some epic with that fail?
Yeah, thank you very much. Epic.
Yeah, no problem.
That's a bruh moment right there.
Yeah, bruh.
Okay,
Okay.
Team IND gonna send okay. The full squad right next to King of Gamers. That's going to be nice for Bossa to get the damage. Actually didn't shoot too early on, and Bossa's just going to get completely overwhelmed by Team IND. Concept is making a run for it, trying to make it away from those 4 players of Team IND. He's going to reposition himself into that compound, into one building specifically, maybe trying his best to pick them up one by one, but you know that Team IND, they've been really good, especially on that first game. And now they are feeling confident.
Even the second game, what I've noticed about
like look at this, like the way Team IND swept around on that 2, like the way they wrapped around 2 and 2, that's just really great teamwork from Team IND. Hey Alexios, how are you getting on? Hey Ace Beast Plays, how are you getting on? How's BTR so consistent? They're always top 2 because they're very intelligent at the game. Also love the moment that you, Maxon, talked about the SLR and Uzi sound. I forget that, but I think we'll get to Capital.
You can see it right now, like they're going for that 2-2 push. Even though that knockdown's coming through.
Oh.
Wait. Yeah, I was just going to say Concept gets knocked. It doesn't matter if 2 players got knocked because Team IND had the full squad. It was confidence.
And that was something where we didn't really feel that there's... I personally didn't really feel the need to... I didn't feel the need to, like, let's say, play-by-play that because it was pretty inevitable. It was 1v4, so it was kind of like one of those things where, you know, there wasn't really any need, in my eyes. Maxim's actually just messaged me on Discord. Hi, I'm New Master from Insight. Yeah. Hey, TSM. Okay, that's a little bit of an interesting, I'm actually streaming at the moment. So yeah. Okay.
It was job well done.
I want to give some respect there. Like,
yeah, so I wanted more just kind of color cast as opposed to play-by-play because I didn't feel there was
so we'll have to see
any real need to play-by-play, something that was really...
still remain. But that's okay. But now I want to see especially happening in San Martin. You got TSM Entity slowly coming around. You got 3 angles held by Neo, Jonathan, and also Clutch gone on all of the north and also the eastern side. But you know that TSM Entity is not really their mojo to get involved in city fights, especially early on. If they can just avoid early on engages, they'll do it.
Max do like to take early fights, and I do. TSM do like to take early fights. Everyone tells me to change my name. Yeah, I would recommend changing your name. It's not exactly positive, dude.
That previous Miramar game when the interview came through, they do generally tend to feel more confident if they do get a couple of early kills.
Maxon is too fast.
The first 2 games in the results
yeah,
so far,
in the early game he probably does talk a little bit too fast, whereas I talk that matches the pace. So that's actually a fair point.
16 kills in 2 games. That's not.
That's a really fair point, Marta.
Game. So
hey, Sarah's Gully, how you getting on?
He's more confident in that regard. You know, we
again. I hope the volume. I hope the volume is balanced between me talking here and
rather than the west
game.
Of San Martin.
Especially with this kind of circle, you know that most of the time you're going to have no teams localized in the northern side. So far, the only team up north, you got Yudu just going to be on the west. On the eastern side is going to be Galaxy Racer Celts. They got a lot of room to work with. So really, I'm not scared with them finding a good location to play around. Phase 2 is when things will get a little bit more set in stone as time goes by. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, rotations, yeah, are pretty clean overall. We still got Megastar, still got RQ that got to move it in towards Montenuevo and also El Porto actually in the circle. But it's
it's still not a positive name to use to be perfectly honest.
Team ID, but that was really just a hot drop that was not really expected.
Like, I don't even want to say your name on YouTube.
Nova, ooh, going in the open like that.
This is where Max should have passed it over to me, but you know, because if I'm gonna be doing,
yeah, I was about to say it's Armdrain or Valdus. I mean, why would they go there? Like, they just trying to hot drop on San Martin. You should know that Valdus plays like this.
It's more that they've got nothing left to lose. I don't know exactly. I believe it's mathematically impossible for Nova more.
I guess game sound lower than your own would be better. Okay, cool. I've lowered the game sound a little bit. How many times have you freaking changed your name, man? I'll also increase. Actually, no, my mic volume is at the loudest, so that's cool. Okay.
To actually get into top 16, like, you know, they would have to pretty much wipe.
Cool. I've turned the volume down, so let's see if that works.
So even though it might be mathematically possible, it's very impossible. But nice shots returned to try to at least push back Armone. So good response from Nova.
Just saying mathematically impossible almost. Like
I think casting is really hard if you're with two casters. It's like dancing. Capital PUBG, like casting is like a dance. It's gotta be, not that it has to be choreographed, but you have to have that partnership. You have to have that, you know, that the duo, that kind of, you know, where you're working together for, you know, for one piece of fantastic casting.
Teams that like to fight in San Martin, that's T1, that's Valdes the Murder, but they're going to be now respecting each other's position, not going to get too close. No fights will break out early on, which you'd like to see.
I like the quick rotation from you level up away from Impala, considering where they're currently located is quite nicely inside the circle. The fact that they're still not,
the synergy, exactly.
They're going to have a strong position, that they are taking advantage of that by rotating relatively early, is something which I love to see from them. It should help them control their area. As you look at it on our screens, Megastars coming in from Monte Nuevo, they're going to have Box and BTR close by, but Morph should have a nice clean come through. I would recommend on the north of Los Leones, basically in between King of Gamers and Team.
I don't know if I say the word basically too much.
Get the high ground information on that rotation.
Yeah, the plateau up north, you mean, of Los Leones would be.
Yeah, exactly.
Give you a lot of scope, like, and you'd also see towards the center.
I did actually really like that. It's something simple, but I really like that from Max when he's like the plateau up north. It's not much, but that little sentence, you know, it was that little kind of, you know, communication between each other that was just, I think really made a difference to that sentence. You know, some good points you want to take from Bleh or any other caster with 16 years experience. I'll take points from any caster, whether they've done 1 month, one day, or 1 years of casting, if that makes sense. And Marta, no real caster is like, you know, you can learn from anybody. Thanks, Sarah's goalie.
We haven't had that many, actually, in PMWL, especially on Miramar. In Miramania, didn't get an insane amount. Yeah.
El Azahar finish.
El Azahar finish. You know what? I would love to see that. It's going to have to hard shift a few times in a row, though, if you want an El Azahar finish. But something interesting. I think I never casted one yet.
Yeah, I want to throw it like a circle kind of hope, because I think that's cool sometimes when you throw it a little bit of a where you'd like to see the circle finish. I think that's okay from, you know, every now and again. It's not something we do every match, because I feel like it becomes redundant, it becomes boring if you're like doing it every match, and it's something that I've made the mistake of doing. But every now and again, I think a end the circle prediction or wish for how the circle's going to end is kind of cool.
Like, I think we've had a Cruise Val finish before, but it's been rare. I'd also like to see a water treatment finish. The reason why is because that's very,
maybe I spoke about this too much, but you know, I know
containers around water treatment, but you also have the high ground surrounding it, so it's very risky whether to commit to that area or not. So let's see, of course, where it does go. Arcube decided to go actually to the north of T1, and they've actually gone for a much.
I can't put swipe up until I hit 10k.
I think is
I can't do the swipe up until I hit 10k.
Like I
unfortunately.
said, when I recommended you level up, you do definitely have an easier job.
I like to play on the edge, but okay, we were seeing like a 4-man car rotation special. No, the favorite.
Ace.
He absolutely loves it, guys. Send him your favorite, you know.
What do you mean, Ace? To me, close encounters of SA region is stronger than SEA, but mid-range of SEA is way superior. Comments? I don't know, Alexios, because I don't, you know, I watch pro players and competitive, so it's completely different. Well, it wasn't too much because nothing happened anyway, true. You're really strict for yourself, but it's good that you want to improve. Hey, Hugo, how you getting on? Yeah, of course, Capital. I have to be harsh on myself.
He absolutely loves it, but Armgen going to get absolutely battered by Nova Godlike. And they're just going to get their
but this first game, like me and Max both feel like it was just really bad.
Don't have to spray too much.
Like,
but now the position, especially of Martin, going to stop them from peeking too heavily. So I think this is a fight that
Jonathan's OP and Scout also. Yeah, they're both
pretty
OP.
If you want to try and get yourself your full engage on Valdes.
Yeah, John even hates 4-man car rotations in a real car. Like, if he sees 4 people in a car on the street, he'll shake his fist like an old man and go, oh, why I order? Why I order? Back in my day, we didn't have 4 people in vehicles.
That was... I did that joke reference because I heard John had done that. I heard John do that in a previous game, and I wanted to... Again, it was kind of part of just bringing some form of you know, synergistic humor between the two casters and between the 2 pairs of casters, and I wanted to. The only thing is that Max hadn't realized that, and he reacted in a way of he didn't know what was going on because he didn't know what was going on, and that kind of. But that's one of those things that happens. We said on the taxi. On the way back, like, he's like, yeah, I should have trusted you more than that. And I was like, yeah, look, it's cool. That's going to happen. You know what I mean?
I don't think John speaks like that. But you know what? I feel bad.
He did in the last game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he was like, I don't think John speaks like that. And then it was like, yeah, he did in the last game. And, you know, I was like, oh, man, you missed a perfect opportunity to like, carry on the joke. But those things happen. And that's something that you have to. So did you learn how to pronounce synergy? Yeah, I did. Hey, Team Fitness, how you getting on?
That's fair. But you know, Nova, they're going to try and flank a little bit on the side behind the mountain.
At least Max kind of laughed at it because I think he realised that. It was just one of those things. So good. On a side note, that was like some of the worst play I've seen for Nova God. Like, that was just... Like, why are you running out in the open like that? You knew you were getting shots from Valdez previously. You know, that's a really bad position. I think I actually threw my pen on, you know, on not on the desk, but on my notebook on the desk, because I was that, like, you know, I was actually that I was like, why would you run out in the open like that? It was just really, really bad play, you know? Really bad play. Big F for Max indeed, Alexios.
Breach. They're going to be using 2 players right away, and that's going to force the 2 other members of Nova.
I want to chat more, but I don't have questions to ask.
No, they're not going to commit.
It's realistically narrow.
You don't need to ask questions to chat. You can just like tell me about your day.
Okay,
you know.
We don't see anything directly in front of us. There's nobody there, and we're even seeing it again as Vamp goes down, leaving Exist as the last player up.
Ekron is going to be cooked up. Could be perfect. I mean, he knows exactly where he is. Oh, hello, comes and hug him perfectly.
That was a nice grenade by Exist.
The rest of Valdez will come around the corner. It will.
Hey, Temka, how you getting on? Hey, Hiss.
So that's okay. They got a little bit of a nice slip over the hill to hide behind.
Thank you very much, guys, for tuning.
Happens. Going to go for the engage. Hits one, hits the second. Nice.
Like, I don't know why he went for the revive after getting the knockdown. Like, you know. You use that knockdown to reposition yourself at that point in the game when you only have 2 players up, okay, and you get a knockdown onto the player who knocked your teammate, and you're the last one up. You don't go for the revive, not in that kind of position, because you have nowhere to go. So you reposition around, you wrap around so that the opponent doesn't exactly know where you are. You're possibly going to be able to get a second knock of them running out. And if your teammate goes down, you know, it was definitely poor decision making from Nova God. Like, wait, what else are you streaming on, Hugo? I'm just streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Jonathan's MVP of week 2 and week 3. Does that make him the overall MVP of the league stage? I don't know Dragon Ball fandom, to be perfectly honest. I really don't. Jonathan gonna beat the only Legends know that. Yeah, it does, and you know they say legends never die, Flame. So, you know. Yeah. Hugo, gotta hit up the old YouTube for the awesome Asian people. Okay, so somebody's like going for food. Okay.
The murder as they pick up the force.
Valdez, the murder.
Nova got like taken out in 16th.
We did see the phase 2 actually head a bit up north. It shrunk a bit to the west, but now it's Team Seeker on the BTR.
Yeah, Team Seeker. I mean,
that was. I really messed up there. I should have like. So when that happened, okay. So
phase 2 actually head a bit up north.
Like, one, I didn't need to say actually. I could have just said the phase 2 shifted up north a little bit. Whereas I should have quickly realized that this fight was about to go down to BTR, between BTR and Team Secret, and I should have passed that over to yeah, Flames. I might try with a couple of other teams. There's no other team with the in it, and that's the key thing. Is like it's like the murder. It's like, you know, if any other team would what, like, you know, take King of Gamers, it doesn't really sound the same. But anyway, yeah, my casting was so bad in this moment. I because we were trying something different, I didn't feel confident in this game. I felt really nervous, and making mistakes like this that I instantly knew was wrong just really didn't help. Like, I really should have just passed it over. Like, yeah, okay, it's technically still an early game team fight, but you got BTR who's fighting for the first place. You got Team Secret, who I mentioned had a great day. There's no reason for me to not recognize that and pass that over to Max in a much better way. It was really poor casting for me.
He shrunk a bit to the west, but now it's Team Secret on the BTR.
Yeah, Team Secret. I mean, you had
I at least kind of recovered it by setting Max up a bit, but I could have done it a lot smoother and a lot earlier. And green screen, kind of, it's a virtual green screen. Do you think Orange Rock will perform better if they take head-on fights in a more coordinated and disciplined manner? Yeah, within reason. It depends on the time of the game, but generally speaking, yeah. But that's the same for any. Any casting videos on YouTube you did in 2017? If yes, then let's have a reaction. I think there is, and I might actually do that, Flames.
Overwhelmed. You still got Rex a little bit.
Just to embarrass myself a little bit. That's actually a really good question, Flames. That's a really good question.
They're doing it on Miramar once again. It's their speciality today.
Oh, that's a bit risky if Rex going inside that vehicle. His microbike.
Yeah, that was really bad play.
They got the high ground under control right now. That's going to force very Team Secret potentially away from.
Really bad play by Rex.
Come on through onto Rex. And that's the issue on this kind of position, right? If you're too spread and then a team does push you as a full squad,
yeah, exactly.
Taking the fight head on, that's going to confirm the second kill for Microboy, 2 kills so far for Bigatron. They're looking to.
But Max then should have also passed it over to me a little bit earlier, so that's, you know, in this kind of situation.
Location or just follow up on the 2 other players of Team Secret. I mean,
hey, Harsh, Ferdinand, Sharma, how you getting on?
They could wrap around the west and actually come in basically.
Yeah, let's see.
Of Hacienda Del Petron, but just one thing to point out was that Rex had a great opportunity to actually bait the members of BTR with the rest.
Again, I'm saying the word actually too much. I need to stop saying that. I need to cut that word out all the time. So when do you guys pass it on to each other? So that's a good question, Hugo. Normally I will pass it on to Maxman as a team fight is either going to happen, or if it's a longer team fight that, you know, I've kind of started play by playing, but it kind of, you know, is not quite executed quickly, right? So those are the 2 ways, and then he'll normally pass it off to me after a team fight, or after he's made a point based on a team fight, or just in the quiet periods.
His team looking from a distance, but instead he decided to go in the vehicle. That's instantly being heard. That's instantly being spotted.
Yeah, gotta be
I actually did like the instantly being heard, instantly being spotted. I think that's an acceptable time to say, to repeat a word twice within a sentence, because I feel like that actually had a bit of an impact on the situation. And I feel like it actually highlighted my point just a little bit more. So I'm definitely happy with that. But I do need to cut out the word. I do need to cut out the word actually.
Information away by using cars. Sometimes you want to try and avoid using them.
Please learn Hindi, bro. I can barely speak English. Never mind Hindi.
You're going to see Yudu taking a few shots towards TSM, but they will be able to easily make it downhill, finding the location. RQT not pretty close by, same as T1. A lot of teams playing pretty central, which is normally what we do see on Miramar, and I'm not really too surprised by that. But I would, if we have a hard northern shift, that could make things really intriguing.
It's more the fact that, luckily for TSM, RQ have rotated to a position where they can't clearly see TSM, so there's that little bit of space for the boys from India.
I really don't get why they show replays like this when it kind of has nothing to do with either what we're talking about or to do with the broadcast. Watching the whole games, I probably will. Can I get the link for YouTube stream? Yeah, you can, Marta. 2 seconds. Namaste. There you go. Thanks, Hugo. Appreciate it, man. Okay, so let's continue on.
A little space for the boy.
Boys, do it for the boys.
Oh, Orange Rock. I mean, this is a very Orange Rock kind of move, you know?
Like, yeah, I definitely need to do some VOD review with I think so, Temka. Definitely want to do some VOD review with Max.
I mean, especially when you've got a scout who's going to get so much information and he's absolutely godly on those sprays. But you know what? Galaxy Racers itself's got a nice little area to play around. But Galaxy Racers, I'm surprised, actually left the northern side on which there was no teams really play. Oh, damn. Well, that circle, you know what? That circle, actually, that's a hard, it's not a hard shift in itself, but like because of how the teams are localized, it's actually really good for a lot of the teams. But the teams
yeah, like honestly, like Max spoke for so long there, and honestly, in this game, I didn't mind because honestly, I was feeling so shit. Really, I was not enjoying casting the third game. It did not feel good at all. You know,
they are going to struggle to potentially find a spot in the circle,
and it's really good for RQ. They can now reposition.
Exactly, Lily. It does.
Occupy the high ground,
but
just, by the compound.
But that was
that circle,
yeah, and that's something that
information on the likes of Cell,
me and Max need to work on in a lot of ways, you know. But we're not gonna we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to how, as I said, like you know, for those last 3 games, you know, based off some feedback, we were trying something that was realistically extremely different, and I kind of pushed it of me just focusing on passing it over to him, you know, quicker, but we didn't really talk about him passing it over to me quicker. So that's why that first game it kind of feels like, and it is like Max is the main caster and Max is doing the majority of the casting. So for the finals, we're basically going to go back to where we felt really confident together, where it was that back and forth, where it was that, you know, even if you know, from a pure professional casting perspective, it's not as strong. When it comes to us as a duo, we're better off casting together in the most comfortable way, because that's going to end up as a better broadcast. Yes, we did, Hugo, because we kind of went back a step and we went back to kind of our strengths. How hard can you go on a team's performance while you cast? Because in CSGO casting, casters literally abuse the teams for not showcasing the standard gameplay. You can be critical on any team once you are not insulting the player personally. You can be critical on a team, like, for example, I was quite critical on TSM at one point, but I kind of, the way I expressed an opinion was a little bit too on the nose of insulting the IGL, if that makes sense. So, but it's a balance. It's a really good question, Flames. As I said, we can criticize a team's gameplay as much as possible. Once it's relevant to the broadcast, relevant to the game that's being played, and once it's not too insulting. Once it's not insulting to the player.
Fact of the matter is, he's on his own.
You they got some knocks on TSM, and they want to now try and potentially seal the deal on this one. The smoke's going to buy them time for TSM so they can go for the res. At least they go for the first point. That's going to be making it over to the compound. Now they're going to make it uphill. They could still give the advantage over to TSM.
I know, Lily. I know. He's just exposed himself. Hey, Shivam, how you getting on?
The Golden Marauder, and they're going to go and escape away in style.
That was such a bad decision to go into Golden Marauder. It's genuinely it was a very classics game mistake, to be perfectly honest. I feel that Max is good at explaining the current scenario of the game, and you are better at putting stats and strats of the teams and players. Give or take, yeah, that would be kind of true, Nicole. Gianni, I think I'm still very solid at explaining the current situation, bar choose one. Who's LM? Oh, Messi. But yeah. No, there's no advantage to Golden Marauder. It just looks hilarious. Okay, Hugo. That's a terrible excuse. Thanks for your cast, though. So many moments where you're commentating just made me jump up. Thank you to People's Champ 07. It means a lot. It's just me analysing the very critical parts. Yeah, it was such a bad mistake from TSM, NT. Like, you know, if you're trying to disengage from a fight like that, you know, in Miramar especially, you don't use a vehicle. Open top vehicle. Hey, Ben, how you getting on?
Poor decision making. When you look at Udo Gank now, they can spread themselves quite cleanly across the line with Drax getting that high ground flanking position. Gonna get knocked in on the Z-God. Will Jonathan get spotted?
How dare you?
Also that pass off to Max was so bad. Like, Will Jonathan get spotted? And it was just like, there was no, you know, end of me talking sound. There was no, like, you know, will Jonathan get knocked, Max? Or will he get knocked? It was just like, will Jonathan get knocked? And that's it. It was so bad. Hey, Punch, how you getting on?
But the God of Mirado, Jonathan tried to become the Bush, but only some players can do that. Jonathan was not the chosen one. He will get taken out swiftly, and I'm seeing Jumper coming in with a pan. Don't do it. Don't do it. No. They go get confirmed the kill. You do up to 2 kills so far. But TSM, you know what? The 2 other players moved in the central northern part of the circle. Going to be in contestment with RQ Athena. They might have a fight breaking out, but at least they still got 2 players in this game. Hope is still here.
The rotation for Megastars is wild and out of nowhere, but I absolutely love to see it. They're sweeping in from the blue zone, the north of water treatment.
You're gonna see a different Valdez now. Lads are working hard. Ben, you know, Valdez are a team which I believe in the last game I pointed out how much they had improved. So yeah, I won't be surprised.
No teams really as they come into the circle.
Back onto the position of Orange Rock, which they got information on not only Galaxy versus Cells, but down south they also got information on Morph Team. Morph Team, they got pretty much destroyed on their first game of Erangel. They got destroyed in like 10 seconds.
I thought this was great by Morph Team. On a side note, I thought Morph did such a great job of actually staying in Minas. Some teams would take the risk of disengaging away, but you know, they knew Orange Rock had sights on them, so I think that was really good.
Morph is like all localized in one specific position. If one team comes around and has the perfect angle, that could be the end of Morph.
Okay, you're Chinese, awesome.
You're right, but I believe they're
that's really cool.
Pretty well protected.
Lots of love. Thanks, Negative Space. Lots of love to you too.
As much as Orange Rock is looking in their area, it's just the kind of thing where Morph just feel confident as Rising gets knocked by Mad Toy.
It seemed like Bigatron, they wanted
this is a mistake that BTR made that I pointed out that ended up biting them in the ass.
Specific building as iShot is just completely way too far away. Took in for that grenade. Be a good one to connect, but I think that this might be a little bit too far.
Play PUBG Mobile on stream? No, I'm not playing PUBG Mobile on stream.
Gotta go and throw the res eventually.
The title of the stream says it all.
In this one building will be hard to escape from, but still they got a few windows. You could try and do a little bit of a jumper engage from the backside.
Like, I know BTR like to kind of play around the edge of the circle, right? And they're never too fussed about making their way in. But one thing you got to understand is while they've been engaging onto Madtoy or attempting to engage onto Madtoy, Valdez and T1 have both made their way past BTR and into the circle.
I really think I executed that point really well, because I knew that might play out in the next 5 to 7 minutes. So what I was doing was I was doing my best to contextually set myself up for a later part of the game if BTR got punished, and as it happens, they did.
Madtoy in the smoke, avoiding detection of Zuxi. You have no idea where he is, but they know he's somewhere in the smoke. They haven't heard any footsteps. That means he has not moved whatsoever. Let's just still keeping an eye out.
Getting time wasted.
Yes, a lot of time wasted, but they see him right there. He was actually... Wait, was he on the outside part?
I don't know exactly.
I think he was not inside of it. He was on the...
I think Max, like, kind of didn't really need to bring that up so much, but, you know.
Is it going to be worth it though? Like I said,
I got to go enjoy your stream. Thanks, Capital. Appreciate it.
Way into the circle, but looking at Orange Rock, like you said, they still hold on to the high ground position, that real heavy sided cliff that they're able to just gather so much information around. Of course, hoping the next circle will still stick in their favor. If it doesn't, they will have to disengage relatively quickly. They have 0 kills, so they haven't been able to take advantage from a kill point of view. Let's see if it works out as Megastars and Team IND.
Yeah, that was just really... man, my casting there on that point was way too elongated. I took too long explaining a simple point, and I just ended it really badly. That was like really shit casting for me. That was really crap casting.
By Team IND, Encore was knocked away in the valley. Grenades are going to be a big issue for Megastars if they're not too careful about this one. But Team IND now, they want to leave that compound because they got a little bit of a lip of the hill to work around, so they can peek really, really efficiently without getting themselves in too bad of a position to take that fight. The Megastars using one member, I think that they're going to lose that confidence. They're going to move away from this fight entirely, and they're not even in the circle. This is a fight
that was a good point from Max, actually.
Really bad for them to take head on.
It's also one of those things where IND actually rotated really well, because when I looked at Megastars previously, IND were nowhere near them.
I think the bigger
I thought that was a little point that was okay to bring up once I ended it quickly. And I did end it quickly, so that was fine. It meant that we could move on to this 3-way setup between the fight between BTR and T1.
Right now, gonna go for the res. No, that's completely okay. T1, a few nades will indeed come on through from their side. But I like the angle held so far by Missile. If they're not really too careful of where Missile is, he could get the perfect angle.
Hey, Hardman.
The entirety of Bigatron, so you got to keep that in mind. Satan, maybe you want to try and join up with Missile sooner or later, because Missile is going solo, getting closer and closer. You don't want to take Bigatron on as a 1v4. That is not how it goes.
We also seen the kill feed. You do have been able to take down the guts and the glory of a TSM as they get wiped out, unfortunately. But now, as you see, this fight is going to be staved off. It's the fact that ZZP and Satan can't really do anything right now. So as much as Missile has a good position, if he's not creating the opening for ZZP and Satan to go up that cliffside to engage on the BTR, it's a wasted opportunity for T1.
I did have a point, like T1 Missile probably should have disengaged. He didn't feel like he wasn't creating enough an opening, but I kind of also made a mistake where I think ZZP and Satan could have actually gone up the cliffside, but they were being a little bit too passive. So I think I actually made a wrong point. Hey Memphis, how you getting on?
Agree. I think that Zuxi and Microboy want to get an angle, especially on ZZP.
Yeah, exactly, Temka. That's what I said. I don't know if you heard me, but that's what I said might happen, because they took so long taking down Mad Toy for 1 kill that they got punished, then trying to rotate in you know, because it's so tricky. It's so tricky.
Still that's a lot of utility coming out from especially T1. I think that's some utility you want to hold on pretty dearly for the
I don't know if you'd heard me mention that.
Right now on the left side, going to be not really stopping them from flanking on the left, so that's okay, but now you've got to keep that in mind. Zuxi exploding the card, make a little bit more coverage for the rest of his squad. But they only have now a few seconds before the circle moves away. It did go really central on Morph, so you've got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, he did go in the central area more.
I'll put money on any team.
Engage from the high mountainside that they were in. It's just
They definitely could have put pressure on BTR.
They moved their way down as Morph are going to get engaged on by Orange Rock. IND into Megastar is going to try and clean up that fight. Paradox.
Oh,
yeah, my casting there was so bad, like so bad, like like that was so shit, like really shit.
One corner alone, and he's gonna get absolutely battered by Team ID. Team ID, you know what?
So bad there, man. So bad casting.
Had a little bit of a struggle getting himself some good performances, but I gotta say today I'm pretty impressed with how they are playing. So hopefully this will be the first.
Really bad casting there.
Still got 2 more games after this one. They need to try and keep on racking up some good results.
Yeah, Team ID 12 kills in the first 2 games, along with a couple of solid placement points, has definitely showed that they can.
Valdez shouldn't have let Mad Toy go. Old Illuminate was the best. Nah, you can't say that, to be honest. You can't say that.
It's going to be a struggle. T1 have held them staved off, but T1 haven't really taken advantage.
Says that P doing a risky rotation away to get closer to the circle. Bigatron's going to be on their tail.
I think the whole of Team IND are making really good plays throughout this PMWL, but Sayer is definitely looking really strong.
Potentially taking shots toward them and denying themselves getting back to the normal floor level. They're going back to floor gang, Imperium. They're getting back to floor gang level.
And now you have Orange Rock as well, trying to come in and put the pressure on the BTR, but Zuxi is able with the Scar L, but what a grenade by Gil.
Yeah, Gil's going to be able to get things.
I actually thought that was a nice little moment for me. I think that was actually pretty nice. Yeah, Ben. I'm sure you know a little bit, if not all of what happened, and you know it is what it is. Hey, Sinister Plays, how you getting on? Ha! Thanks very much, People's Champ.
Bigatron still has 2 players really far away. They'll potentially try and come back.
Yeah, I thought that was nice little casting by me, just to pat, you know, I elevated that grenade knock in the right way, and then I just passed it over to Max. I thought that was really clean for me.
He is thirsty for those kills. He's going to try and
what's your YouTube? Hugo, could you put my YouTube link, please?
On Bigatron and eliminates them in 11th position.
That was nice by Max. That was really nice by Max. Because nobody expected that was like an RKO, literally out of nowhere.
Oh, baby, when the opportunity comes a cropping, you're gonna do some dropping.
Also, I really like that. For me, when the opportunity comes a cropping, you're gonna do some dropping. I definitely was proud of that one.
ZZP eliminates Big E-Tron as RQ close to Udo Gank on the north side of the circle.
I probably didn't need to repeat the fact that T1 had taken out BTR, to be honest, but I definitely wanted to. I'm definitely proud of that. Hey, Edward, your People's Champ, cool, thanks, man. The VOD frame rate is low, or is it just me? It's probably because the quality of the stream, because my laptop isn't the most powerful, so because I'm doing camera and thing, it's just not the best.
You know what? The circle magnet did work in their favor.
So the frame rate probably isn't the best.
Or Udo Gank in the northern side, you gotta keep that in.
Same here, Ben. I hope the Decemberland doesn't get cancelled as well.
Circle coming up really soon. That's where it might shift a lot. But you see Inbox Gaming down south got a really intriguing position, Imperium.
The Circle Gods once again going towards them. Of course, they're now on the south edge, but it has been going towards them. It didn't last game.
T1 got taken out swiftly, 9th position. 8 teams still in play for this Miramar game. The last Miramar game, once again, as a recap for this final Super Weekend, is getting intense. The circle getting pretty central away from most squads. Morph barely in the circle right now. But you're seeing some team fights happening left
and hey, Memphis, MK.
7 teams still in play, and it's going to be intriguing to see which team will be taking this center position, because we are fighting on a slope on this circle finish.
They have to practice again. Thanks for the cast, Edward. Thanks, People's Champ. Appreciate it, man. Or Edward.
Second huge cliff side, because it means they'll avoid the likes of Valdez.
Yeah, I made a really good point. Like, Orange Rock missed, like, they got 2 knocks onto RRQ. Okay, Orange Rock got 2 knocks onto RRQ and still decide to look in the direction of Valdez or Morph.
Able to get some information on teams on the north, and that's
like, you see this here?
Again, the sprays down Orange Rock, a little bit of a high ground on that slope next to the map.
Like, they got the kill, so they instantly know they have 2 knocks and one of them is a confirmed kill. You know? Yet yet Mavi is looking in the direction of Valdez. What, like, I'm all for looking in a direction, but you've been in that direction for ages. Arndrock should have pushed RRQ. Easily, big time. Big time should have pushed RRQ. When will finals start? They'll start Thursday. I saw a watermelon t-shirt in H&M store. I'm gonna buy one for you, one for me, one for you. Just let me know your size. Ben, you're a legend. Bro, I don't know if H&M will do my size. It's like double XL.
They will try to make their way as a blue zone is closing in.
Box Gaming, they're mad. The RQ took back their position and Bigatron. They want to get back in top 2, even potentially top 1, so they want to take control on this game with 2 kills.
It doesn't matter if RQ isn't in the zone. Okay, because okay, so my point is that my point, Marta, is that it doesn't necessarily matter if RQ are in the zone or not. Here's why. One, at this stage of the game, with 6 teams still up, now they don't know exactly how many teams are up. Yeah, I do remember you from Discord, Sinister. They don't necessarily know how many teams are still up, okay? But they know that there's roughly 14 other players, which could mean anything from 3 teams to 7 teams still left in the game, okay? So what that does is if they are more aggressive onto RRQ, not only is that less chance of being third-partied, but that's also more kills on the board for them. Okay, they do know Morph is around the corner, but Morph is focused more heavily on Team IND and Valdez because Morph are inside the circle. They're not necessarily worried about what's going on behind them too much. Arndrock, they'd already gotten 2 knocks. They got 1 confirmed kill. At that stage of the game, in my opinion, you're actually better off going for the squad wipe. You know, because they were outside the circle as well. If Arndrock were inside the circle, I'd understand them not pushing, but they were outside the circle as well. You know? So, you know, that's the way I look at it.
Those left, right, and center, you level up, get taken out of the lobby so damn quickly. Back to TDM you go. And Box slowly going to try and get encountered with Team ID. The first fight will be breaking out. They're going to have the first initial knockdown onto Loki. It will be turned now into a 3v2. Grenades could be huge from Team ID if they get the information.
What I love about Box Gaming is that they don't always take a fight, but when they do take a fight, they make it work out. We saw it in the last game, we've seen it in this game, but Team IND, nice grenade by Slayer, knocks down Loki.
Like, Morph had gotten the kills on the RRQ. Morph were actually able to get more kills because of that. Temka, the reason Arndrock looked down is because they had information on Morph. No, it wasn't actually Morph, it was Valdez. If they pushed the Morph, RQ would have punished them, dropped behind, so they wanted to take less risk and wanted Mavi to scout the other way. But my point is that they don't engage and didn't push RQ. But here's the thing, Temka. I feel like they could have taken on both squads, or they could have taken on, Morph, off the back of getting 2 knocks and 1 kill, or 1 knock and a kill onto RRQ, because RRQ were punished. You know?
Oh, Valley style like that, grenades are so easy to throw, and Team ID they know that's to their advantage. RQ going to get eliminated in the northern side. It was really to be expected. It was a pretty hard rotation on their side. A lot of teams had an angle on them. But those smokes behind a lot of time, precious time for Box, but Slayer trying to be a little bit proactive.
Hey Viking Esports, how you getting on?
Don't really know it too heavily. That grenade coming out could be connected onto Snacks or Slayer. Going to be rolling down the mountainside a little bit. Those are pretty hard to connect. You do have to mention Imperium. But I like the fact that Box Gaming in the south trying to spread himself a little bit thinly to get multiple angles, especially on the teams up north of them.
And Team ID are actually kind of disengaging away from them.
Yeah, they were very consistent.
Don't have a clear
like that spread by Team IND. That spread by Team IND is so clean, man. Like, it's so freaking clean, it's not even funny. Like, it's so clean. Like, you can see that one of them is pushing back Box. and 2 of them are looking towards Morph, Orange Rock, and basically Valdez. It's really good play.
So they're looking to try and
yeah, I do remember you Viking
nice
Esports.
Clear spread, leaving Slayer and putting Snacks and 420 OP.
See? Morph took out Orange Rock because Orange Rock were not... See? Because they split at that point, they got fucked by Morph anyway. That, you know what I mean? They got fucked by Morph anyway. And now they're down to 2 players and they got Valdez to the south of them. You know?
Trying to look for Godard, maybe. Valdez on the very... Like, every single team is on the edge because you said it right. It's a slope. It's such a hard position to play around. We got 1 crate in the center. That golden crate could be useful for a team that tries to be proactive, take the game in their control, in their very own hands. So keep that crate in mind. But no...
See?
Sorry, yeah.
Gil gets knocked by Goddard. That was my point off the back of Orange Rock. Like, what they gained 1 extra placement point? I think 1 extra placement point.
More, but no mercy with the rest of his squad. They're going to be in a dip, and as I was going to say, grenades are huge to connect and easily able to connect on the squad.
See, here's the thing. So they Orange Rock ended up pushing onto Morph. If Orange Rock had just gone as a full squad to push onto Morph, they would have won.
Grenade from Marvi connects. He's going to go for the ring gate. It's going to be a 1v2, but nice right back from Morph team. They eliminate Orange Rock. I thought that they had the advantage, but no, Orange Rock get absolutely destroyed in that one. 4 teams still in play.
I think that was a bit of a mistake that Mavi didn't mean to have that high of a scope attached.
Yeah, that was a mistake by Mavi.
Price, but great play by Morph.
I'm glad I kind of brought up that tiny little point.
The northwest side on their own as Martin connects on the break.
Oh, Martin, the last man standing on Valdez. He's going to go for the engage, but Pimay is going to seal it down. He's going to get rid of Valdez, the murder eliminated in 4th. Still got to say, respectable attempt by Martin, taking a 1v2, but it's just a little bit too much. He had no information on where they were coming from. Box will take the win.
Pimay getting the no more nails and just sealing that leak that was Valdez.
I know nobody outside of England and maybe America would have understood that no more nails joke, but I'm still pretty happy about that. You know, I don't know if you got that, Hugo, but yeah.
The murder. We get down to the last 3 teams. Box Gaming, Team I&D, and Morph Team.
Yeah, but Team ID, they're trying their best to hold on to the eastern side, but Box Gaming, they're taking control. They're pushing on forward. More of that crate is actually being extremely useful for them. You're going to see Break on the side, going to go for the spray. Hits 1 or 2 bullets from No Mercy. He's got a completely capitalized.
Nice play by Break there.
That grenade could be huge. Knows exactly where it is. Into the smoke.
He didn't get it. Hugo, it's cool.
It will connect indeed onto Zay, and now it's all in the hands of Jake C. Break, maybe you want to try and commit to this.
Break played so good.
Another play that's going to be low-key, but those smokes are really stopping him from fully capitalizing on this fight.
And it was because of the knockdowns that came onto I&D that gave Box Gaming so much more space and confidence, but it's a matter of... And they know that Team I&D are there, so they're still being just as confident.
Box, they really want this first position, but now they've got to take 2 fights. They see Team ID on the right side. Slay and Snacks got the intel, but No Mercy gets confirmed out by Break. He's going to be out of the lobby also, confirming that other kill. 8 so far. They're looking for double digits. Box Gaming.
I'm Indian, but I can't get it. Can you explain? I'll explain in a bit.
Grenade response from Slur from Team ID on the east. They did not expect it because they're playing on the valley side, so they're pretty easy to connect. The second grenade comes out, gets a little bit more tick damage.
That was nice by Snacks.
Onto Morph team, eliminated in 3rd, and now it's all between Team ID and Box Gaming.
Break with the M16. Those single fire shots from a distance. Behind the rocket, Slayer gets dropped.
Slayer gets knocked down. Now it's all in the hands of Snacks. Gonna be a 1v3. Pimay gotten rezzed back up on his feet. 1v3 is gonna be pushing on forward. He knows he wants to try and avoid them from rezzing up too heavily. Snacks gets the perfect angle, but that's only gonna be 1 knockdown for them. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What do you want else? Box Gaming still fighting for the golden #1 spot. They are trying their best, and they get the win.
This is just what I love about PUBG Mobile Esports. So many people have asked me, who do you predict for this? Who do you predict for that? Anything can happen. Box Gaming have come back into it. We've seen BTR come back into it. And with that chicken dinner, Box are just continually sending that message.
It's been huge. Box Gaming, GG, well played.
I actually did like the way I kind of pointed that out, and that was really nice. I love watching Imperium cast. He's so energetic. I tried my best. Okay, let's go to the next game, where I like to think it was much better.
throughout 3 games of having gone down. Pretty crazy stuff. We've got Sandhawk and Erangel coming up, and you guys at home as well. And you can get your
and it's on my account, so I guess it's my skin.
The best bit is he was like,
no, Marta, I'm not gonna play individual. Actually, I might. Actually, in fairness, I might do that.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's time to head over to our commentator team. First, Sandhawk, it's our penultimate game here of our Super Weekend. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Kilaris. As Luffy likes to say, wants to be the king of the pirates. The question is, who's going to be the king of our Super Weekend? That's the question to be answered very soon. 2 more games to come, Imperium. It's Sandhawk, it's third-party hour, is going to be big boy intense.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. I want to know which one of these top 3 teams is going to be the lion, wake up and savage the opponents around them coming into this game and the last game.
Oh man, I just can't.
I actually really like that. I really like that in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. I actually like that. Bye, Alexios. Good luck studying. We'll just be watching whatever Imperium chooses. Yeah, fair enough.
Sandhawk, the last one of these Super Weekends.
Yeah, I really like that in the jungle, the mighty jungle.
For sure.
I always like to just use those little kind of quotes like that. I think that really worked.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sandhawk is going to go down. Cut it down the middle once again. Yes.
I'm nervous, Max.
And we're not even playing.
And we're not even playing. Can you imagine how all of these teams feel? It's not just the top 3, of course, even though that's the focus because it's 16 points divided in the top 3. But the fight between King of Gamers, Team Secret, TSM, the fight between Megastars, Celts, and Valdez, and even the fight
again, like the
T1 and IND.
Like the last game, I wanted to help, legitimize the fact that there are teams fighting for positions down below. There is prize money involved for getting a higher standing. So I wanted to highlight those battles.
Like, the amount of stress and pressure on their shoulders must be absolutely insane right now. We'll have to see. The circle is going to be popping on phase 1 on the eastern side, but we might have a little bit of an early engagement in boot camp with T1 and Morph, but they're on the both sides of the road. If they want, they could easily avoid the engagement.
Especially when you also added dynamic, as we saw Morph go for a 2-2 split, of Morph and Nova, who have, with all due respect, aren't really fighting for anything. They're not fighting for the top 16. So that dynamic of they have nothing to lose can change any of the top 3 teams' destiny, so to speak.
Yeah,
what do you think of Indian player? Mortally, he's fantastic.
Have you ever had a ride?
Very intelligent. Yeah. So finals is tomorrow, though. It's Thursday.
On the other side, it's actually gonna maybe cross on over, but Morph, the goal to split.
I put it on my Instagram story. Sinister.
Not worth it whatsoever.
There's actually a game called Graveling where you put rocks in a friend's shoe, hoping they put that shoe on for whatever reason without realizing, start walking, and they start,
So telling me when I was in school, I wasn't just having rocks in my shoe, I was actually getting bullied.
You were getting graveled, basically.
Getting graveled.
Yep. Yeah.
And I got some parents to call off.
See you, sister. Take it easy.
Trying to get rid of.
Young Jimmy, when I was
Young
in
Jimmy,
school.
do you remember that day 12 years ago? You put shoes in my rock? No, you put rocks in my shoe.
Shoes in your rocks?
So
if you wear rocks for shoes and you put a shoe, okay.
We really diluted that conversation so heavily, but yeah, I thought that was fun because there wasn't really much happening when you really think about it. Like,
all of Morph, they can't move away, and here it is going to take the fight versus JXC. And he's going to got QBZ taking up on the right side. There's going to initial knockdown, but oh my god, ZZP just spamming it down.
By the way, on a side note, ZZP with shotgun all throughout this game was hilarious.
Goes out. Banzai will not quite connect. I do wish the grenade was used more. Not grenade, the shotgun was used more often. The sound of a shotgun is just so nice sometimes. It is genuinely satisfying, yeah.
I mean, I think also reliability. It's a little bit issue. Like, if you miss a shot on the shotgun and you've got like a scar on the opposing side, or just an AI in general, you'd be like, okay, I think I'm dead, yes.
I think that's also part of the reason why you also enjoy a nice clean shotgun shot, is because it can be a little bit, difficult. You have to be more accurate as a Morph. Disengage away.
You know what Zay just going to do? Pull off the little old switcheroo. with T1 just going to be taking over boot camp.
Yeah, it was a nice point by Max, by the way, switcheroo that the T1 ended up in the warehouses and, you know, liability. What do you mean negative space? Says the P was using shotgun in a Wrangle match 7 zone as well. Yes, Amarta.
They know BTR are going to be on the north side of the edge of the circle, so they want to avoid BTR. So that's intelligent decision making coming out from Iron Drop. We haven't really talked too much about the circle, right? It is basically focused.
Again, using the word basically too much. Don't need to use the word basically. Like, shut the fuck up using the word basically, Imperium. It doesn't work for you, like. There's no need, like, basically what? Basically? Like, shut the fuck up using that word. What an idiot.
Like around Paradise Resort in general, mainly up north, but up north right now you've got Megastars. So
thanks very much, Hugo, for updating my command.
Potentially taking an early fight engagement, but one fight is going to be happening for sure. That's going to be once again more versus T1. That fight will be never ending.
I love how T1 are playing as a team, Max. They're just pushing through one by one as a unit. Even if they take damage, they're able to clap back.
Yeah, they're going to try their best. Is going to be locked on down missile.
Oh yeah, yeah, but this is a mistake by T1.
This fight could actually go in favor of Morph Team.
Like a huge mistake by T1. I don't know why they were so distracted by Zeus in the underground, right? You know. I just don't get it. Miss Max saying big PP. I'm gonna try and get him to say it on Thursday. I just don't get why you know, why T1 got distracted by Zeus in the underground.
Correctly. I think right now they're going to try and make it through. A little grenade to make sure they don't have to push on forward. That is very safe and nicely cooked up by Youngjun. Now morphed down to one player. That is going to be no mercy. We see how deadly it can be as a one-man army. Will that be enough to get rid of T1 in a 1v4? He puts solo with no meds whatsoever almost. He's going to go for the initial knockdown, but ZZP will put the nail in the coffin.
Like, I feel like T1 just could have cleaned that out.
What I loved about that, Max, is the fact that ZZP was by the
Bro, when will you go to play? Well, right now, I'm not playing, so, you know.
No mercy from in any way kind of stabbing T1 in the back. It was great teamwork. It was great comms. And T1 will once again.
I know I made that positive point, but I still think it was a bit of a mistake by T1. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
We might lose him also very soon on the mountaintop.
I just realized, Hugo, man, you're in YouTube as well as Twitch. You fucking legend, you. Indian teams love Miramar. Yeah, they do perform really well in Miramar.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get too close because you know what? You gotta have those distances.
TSM. This is a similar phase 1 as well as yesterday, I might add. Yesterday, they made that instead of going through the trifecta/Painan area, which they could easily do because Synergy aren't playing in the Super Weekend, they're actually choosing, like they did yesterday, to sweep from ruins down.
Again, I think I'm using the word actually as well too much.
They did it very successfully yesterday. They're about to do it today, only there is a cheeky U-level.
Thanks, Hugo, you legend.
By them.
I think that you level up.
I think Hugo, man, is better than it's Hugo, by the way. Hey, Prince Aditya, how you getting on? I know, right? It's so cool, Hugo.
On the edge of circle, but now Winter gets information on Zegon and Clutch. They got slowed down for a split second. That could have maybe been the opportunity to take the 1v2.
I think
he's over. He's got 40 ammos, taking his time to get Zerugod and also Clutch God if they want to, but he's not going to give that position away just yet. He's being really safe, a lot of respect.
It's also because the rest of his team are not close enough as he looks to cook up a grenade to back him up. That's going to put Z-God down to a little bit damage. Clutch God's making his way across the way, taking those shots, but the rest of you level up are backing up Winter.
That was okay. That was good by Clutch God, but it was also very risky because he went in on his own without any real information. Do you usually do this kind of reviews often? I will do it myself, but not on stream. You know what? You're dead right, Hugo, but you know, there's this whole thing in casting of if you can make your point, if you can express your opinion in as little words as possible, you're allowing more time to bring up more points and more time for your co-caster to bring up their points. So if I can shave off, hypothetically speaking, 30-40 seconds from saying words like basically and actually, I'm not necessarily affecting how Okay, I'm not, you know, affecting the way the audience sees a cast, but I could be adding a lot more to the broadcast. Hey, Slow Aim, thank you very much to Slow Aim. Whoa, thanks for the raid, Slow Aim. Okay, bro, Slow Aim, I don't know why you raided, man. Yeah, more efficient, exactly. More content covered, more points made, more context created. Thank you so much. I don't have alerts set up. I'm doing a PMWL casting review. So yeah.
Clutch God, he sees him trying to cash and hide himself behind another.
Hey, Mustang girl.
Knocked down because of that one-on-one trade-off so far. But
thank you so much, So Aim, for the raid. Really appreciate it, man.
Very, very deep in our engagement. And you level up, there were no position ready to take this fight. They were deep into Camp Charlie. There was no reason really for them to have Winter so far away for no reason. But you want to go for 2-2 split, I would even say.
They had the right idea, but it just wasn't as well executed as they would have liked. They do have Qmao across the road as a confirmation comes down onto Winter. Huxian still inside Camp Charlie, trying to get a couple of peeking shots onto the members of TSM. And this is TSM actually disengaging.
Well, the class got cancelled, so back again. That's good, Alexius. How do we get the Twitch link? Hugo, could you put the Twitch link in YouTube chat, please?
But Jackson, that grenade is going to be to no avail, unfortunately.
Jonathan got killed early, I guess.
On Camp Charlie's door, going for
yeah, but he didn't need to.
Will be a 3v2. They are hiding. It's hide and seek simulator so far. The grenade
like,
will be a little bit off. That's okay, but Z-God and Neo very close to that one player of you level up. And Neo trying to
gets knocked.
Yeah, damn, actually doing some work.
Like, I don't know exactly what happened.
Simulator so far. The grenade will.
So I saw Jonathan was there, but did Clutch God go in that window with him? No, he didn't. See, that was the mistake. So, always nice to have entertaining streams. It wasn't necessarily
that one player of you.
Yeah, like great play by Jackson. Let's make no mistakes. Like it was really good play by Jackson, but he got Clutch God on one side. He flicked the switch, and he got Jonathan as well, simply because TSM engaged on Jackson in a poor way.
Oh, Jonathan! Oh my god, Jackson taking a 1v2 versus TSM entity. But Yorkzan's going to get overwhelmed by that two-man engage of Neo and Z-God. And now Jackson should have enough time to res up. You've got to make sure, really, because right here what you're seeing is Jackson just left alone for you level up. And he's going to get pushed slowly by Neo. But I think you can also predict that they're going to try and go for the res. So if he just holds this area, this could be big. They're going to try and get the angle once again. Playing with the AK. They got the information. They're going to engage him from the left.
That was nice recovery by TSM, to be honest. But yeah.
It was a real strong note for TSM, as we do see phase 2 centering off quite nicely on the mainland, was the fact that they were able to get that knockdown on the Qmao. So that stopped that high rise information and long range shots to help you level up.
Let me make you mod then. Let me make you mod. Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. Okay, I've made you mod, Hugo. There you go.
But the mistake that
okay. Rizzik, did the principal play by TSM was good in terms of 2-2 split, right? That was good. But it was the way Jonathan and Clutch God engaged together. It wasn't really together, so therefore they both got knocked. You know? That's where the mistake was.
And when they entered into Camp Charlie, in my eyes, was the fact that they didn't know exactly where the rest of you level up were. They 2-2 split, whereas I kind of feel like they should have stuck as a full squad.
Yeah,
you know,
that would have been the other thing, was sticking as a full squad.
Jonathan, it's still 4.
Thanks for the follow, Shale Shah. Appreciate it.
Standing strong in 6th position. Overall was 405 points, looking a little bit more if they can maybe overtake, you never know, Team Secret and even King of Gaming.
Yeah, it was a great play by Jackson. And Born to Clutch Gaming, that's true.
Definitely happy to have a little bit more money in their back pocket. Always feels good. No, there's nothing like too much.
Yeah. And really commend Orange Rock for that rotation, because they've now gone ahead of BTR with that positioning on the northwest side. So, but Orange Rock are in between Valdez and T1, so that's something they will have to be aware
honestly,
of.
this whole team fight area, I really hated the fact that we hung on to this for so long, and I genuinely think like this was one of it was just such a weirdly played fight.
Okay, is there a team over here? Has no information whatsoever, but Team Secret, they used to playing around here up on the northern side of Quarry, so they could expect a team to be here. That's why they play.
Dude, you pronounce my name 100% accurate, 90% failed to pronounce my name. Oh!
Their approach of this compound.
Thank you very much. I'm glad I got it right. Hey, Prince Aditya over on Twitch. Thanks very much.
First 2 games. The third game.
I've got 38 people watching. What the hell?
They were able to get 2 points. BUI gets knocked.
TSM gonna dominate in finals. They're way too good in a wrangle. Check their per map stats in finals, having 50% of wrangle, but so did BTR. Like, you know, you can't say TSM are gonna dominate in finals because that, yeah, you know.
But now they can commit for the engagement. I actually got even confirmed by.
This was such a weird face-off by King Gamers and Team Secret. Hey, King Seagod. Mad Toy played that roof position like really well. But yeah.
He'll still be remaining on his feet. That is okay. But now they got to try and end this fight very, very soon. Braga is still going to play at the distance. He's going to try and actually. Braga denies Mad Toy from peeking over the rooftop. That position is very smart. You'd like to see it. But now he's got to drop down slowly but surely as Rez is slowly going to come on through from King of Gamers.
Where's Rex?
Renee? Oh my god, Pasai is so low, there's no way. And the Marley round top of Braga is going to have to move away from that position. Maybe making it easy pickings for Mad Toy. But it seemed like he will remain alive for the time being. The spray was a little bit too delayed by Mad Toy. Braga making it behind that tree. Sees one hand pixel on the side. But actually, King of Gamers, this team is being reversed against him. Losing one, now losing a second. Team Secret still 2 players alive. That's going to be iShots and Mad Toy getting the upper hand on this engagement.
Oh, grenade being thrown out. Another one trying to push back. iShots. He goes outside of the building. Mad Toy still on top, trying to look for those peeking shots through. Rex did join up, but he did get knocked. But that's okay, right? Because there's still going to be.
I said the word "but" too much. That was really poor by me. I said the word "but." Yeah, you're right, Riddick. It is too long for Sanhok. Team Secret had such a clear advantage, but they let it go because they didn't engage. Like, okay, so the law of averages, or the law of you know, you get 2 knocks onto your opposing team, and they get 1 knock onto you. That still gives you an advantage. Now, Mad Toy was still up. Mad Toy done a great job of getting information onto the members of King of Gamers. I feel like Team Secret could easily have taken more of an advantage. Time my Twitch account at last, dude. Nice.
Make it back to an even engagement, but King of Gamers still with Seep on the ground.
Well, no, the rooftop is good until they actually make their way into the compound. Then the roof play becomes like a roof. Hugo, a roof position is actually good against a player that flanks because you get information on him flanking around. You know, if he's successful on that flank movement, yes, it's dangerous for the player on the roof, but getting information on that flank is really strong if you're on the roof.
Can't help him.
Dab it. Oh my god, do I have to dab it really? Okay, there you go.
By Udugang. I mean, they had a great angle, right? They had the mountain top, they had a lot of information on the east. They were controlling all of the eastern side of the circle, so that was really good use on them. But here's some entity. Maybe want to go for the sneaky third party on this engagement. They've got the high gun ahead of the shots. I mean, you know, this is third party map known as Sanhok, where if they hear gunshots, every team is going to get just brought on over to the...
This was great by Mad Toy. Like, Mad Toy played so good in this game. So good.
And Nea's going to try and just get a little bit of an angle to Clutch God. And the res will indeed come on through.
Hugo, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right, but let's not forget that, that's why I say you get the info on him rotating around and you can even possibly get a knock. But if he is successful on the flank, then yes, it becomes dangerous.
Yeah, it was nice by Mad Toy. Just have that flick of information and to be just, okay, let's go for it, rather than, you know, thinking too much. That reaction time was so strong by Mad Toy. And also, it's core information for Team Secret that they need to wrap around and hug that side of the wall that Rex is on, so they are avoided by TSN.
I think that here going for the wall side would be
But
definitely.
yeah, then Neo gets dropped.
TSM Clutch God will get normally put back. Team Neo is going to be really intriguing, but you got a little bit of an engage, especially from the backside of Galaxy Racer Celts. Got a little bit of high ground onto TSM Entity. Got a little dip, you know, where you got that compound. They can try and play around it. Neo is just going to try and crawl his way back up to Z-God. You got two fights happening in the same area. Really intriguing to see how this one will be panning out for these two squads. But Team Secret, I like the fact that Mato saw it right. He was playing around on the wall, on the rooftop, and that's actually going to potentially allow these two other players of Team Secret across the road to escape that fight versus King of Gamers. It's an intriguing and interesting approach of this fight, but I think is needed for Team Secret.
I also think it was off the back of that knockdown on the Clutch God. It probably, you know, they probably intended to make their way across the road, but...
Oh, and then BTR come in on this as well.
Made them think, okay, we need to do this now. Now, of course, the fact that they would have seen on the feed that Galaxy Racer Celts got a knockdown onto Neo would kind of make them think, okay, we don't have to worry so much.
Yeah, Rocks unfortunately taking the L on that fight.
What about the qualification? I've heard that none of the teams will qualify for World Championship from Season 0. Yeah, it's true, Uptal, Chrissy. That's true. Right now, that is the case.
It's going to be their very first kill for Box Gaming. You know what? They got a great game today earlier. That was on... which map was it? It was on Miramar. Even on, like, actually, in general, they got themselves some really good games. So I think that here you can expect them to do also pretty good on Sandhawk. Hopefully that
still feel like that Max is,
really,
like,
I want to see how is Team Secret
taking most of the casting, but...
Is that just to reposition to take the fight once again head on with King of Gamers, or just to really disengage? Because these kill points are going to be really important for them if they want to try and retake a top 3 position.
That's fair. We'll have to see how it comes down. Now, what's interesting is that BTR are playing... They do like to play edge of circle, but I feel like they're actually playing a little bit safer.
BTR, by the way, at this point in the game, BTR were there. They actually end up there. They decide to go for that southwestern side because it can be a little bit easier, although still tricky in some way, to actually play around Quarry.
I actually think they're being quite cautious, choosing to go down on the southeast around Quarry, but RQ are in front of them. T1, you can see to the north of them. But of course, Microboy is going to be the one man that's kind of behind the rest of the team, making sure they have their back covered.
This game is going to be very interesting if it has a hard shift or to the west or to the east, because you've got that valley in the center with the road, and that's going to make things even harder, because if you do have to shift to the other location, to go down here and across the road, somewhat circle finish going to be going pretty central. One compound is...
Have you eaten yet? No, I actually haven't eaten yet at all. Hugo, have not eaten at all.
Ban finish is so difficult to play around because you have the high ground all around, but then you have that dip. It's nearly like a black hole. But of course you can play around it because teams don't necessarily expect someone to be in ban. You can prone your way down, be covered behind the boxes. We'll have to see if anybody goes for that.
They sent Rex back over to the compound, like, are we leaving?
Like, this is, like...
Do I stay or do I go?
Yeah, but they're definitely going to have to make something about this, right? Because now they've got to disengage TSM. They're going to be the one... Well, this fight, we didn't engage this fight. All right, we're just going to be moving on by.
But they're actually going a little bit too far, a little bit too wild, TSM, and they're possibly going to get caught out by RRQ.
Yeah, well, thanks for following that, Nako.
Looking in the direction of Galaxy Racer.
Yeah, I knew this was coming for TSM. Like, TSM, you know, I don't know why they set themselves so wildly inside the circle as a two-man team up in that moment, and I knew that was going to happen, and I called it.
Bigatron also going to have to do that rotation next to Quarry. Team ID, I think they might get himself involved with Nova God, like up northeast, so you've got to keep that in mind on the minimap. And
TSM. TSM going down, that wild rotation just went against them.
Yeah. It is. Oh man!
So Max doesn't necessarily recognize that, you know.
For so goddamn long, but I should say for very intriguing ankle on the top side of the mountain. They don't really expect it. They can't protect themselves pretty well from there. And Mato is going to go for the jump shot. Gets a kill confirmed onto Bosa, and now King of Gamers for the first time in this fight actually put down to 3 players. It will be a 2v3.
It wasn't for the first time in this fight.
Is going to get overwhelmed by Concept. This is a very even one so far, but King of Gamers still with 3 players. Now down to 2. Super's going to get shut down by the high ground position. That was huge. King of Gamers, they got really nice approach on this fight, but Team Secret, just their positions overall are so intriguing and so original. The King of Gamers are struggling to respond.
Max is wrong about that because King of Gamers is actually responding really well. He got 2 kills left, eye shots on his own.
Confirms a kill. But Concept is going to get knocked down by a third party BTR opportunity.
Sometimes I should have called it a little bit quicker, to be honest. That was a mistake by me. I should have been aware of that more on the map.
Don't expect a team to third party you from the backside, especially on phase 4 circle. We think that most teams will be at least on the edge, but not coming from behind down south.
That was poor by me, to be honest. Really poor by me.
They're around it. Braga, the last player remaining of King of Gamers, going to be left alone. He's trying his best. It seems to actually get eliminated. They're trying to get himself in circle. We might even lose King of Gamers. Braga going to do some work there, picking up 1 kill to Bigatron player. And he's going to try and go for the kill confirm onto Microboy. Will be coming out. There's there. Another kill for them.
Yeah, but Riddick, when you look at the overall consistency across the board, BTR is stronger than TSM. But that's just from so far. Finals can tell a different picture. So we'll have to wait and see.
BTR at least surviving for now. We did, of course, lose Team Secret at the hands of a third party. Udo Gank. Celts are going to go down to the blue zone. Box Gaming are still in this with Pime as the last man standing, but he's far out in the blue zone.
Yeah, they're going to try and just survive it for as long as possible in the blue. Maybe pulling off a Ryzen just like from Bigatron where you had like 24 first aid kits.
I'm JBoy596, your little birdie. Please make me mod. I don't quite know who you are. Apologies, dude. Apologies, man. How do BTR stay out of his zone in Sanhok and still stand 4 man strong? Just 2 good rotations. Exactly, Riddick.
Western side of this circle, Valdez.
Well, BTR doesn't necessarily get more wins, to be honest, because TSM have been very strong with their wins.
Goddard moves his way in between the smokes as Orange Rock sprays her way through.
Yeah, they've got to make it.
Sprays her way through was a really bad way of me saying it. Like, I don't know why I said sprays her way through, because there's nothing they're actually going through. They're spraying in the favor of Valdez, but I don't know why I said sprays her way through.
Very soon, and that's going to be a hard one for them.
Yeah, exactly, Nako. You're dead right. You're dead right.
What Valdez, they're going to capitalize on that advantage they have on this team. The Thelmuth is going to go down pretty quick because of the blue zone, and the play zone is going to be actually claiming even the life of one potential player of Bigatron. Is phase very delayed, so that means the res are going to be really hard. Zux is going to get confirmed out by jump off Udu Gang. Udu Gang, they've been the gatekeepers of this game in Imperium.
Look at Ryzen and Pime.
They will get eliminated out of this game in 9th position.
8 teams left. RQ is still up as a full squad. The other 2 teams battling in the top 3 have 1 player each left standing and are both inside the blue zone.
I'm really glad I made that point.
Game for RQ to claim a chicken dinner, but not before they have to get past Udu Gang.
It was Ernie and G9. They're going to push on the door of Udu Gang, the gatekeepers of this game. Can they gatekeep RQ? We'll have to see. Going for the spray. Wide on the side. Freddy doing some work. Even sees Ernie at the end, and there you have it. RQ. If you know,
like, talk about me cursing, but I'm definitely really happy with how my casting was in that moment. Which team has the best gun power? So many teams have amazing gun power, so it's a question that can't really be answered.
Where most teams will be trying to direct their attention to.
RQ, from a placement point of view, have actually done worse than BTR Box Gaming, but the only benefit for RQ is that they were able to get 4 points, so we'll have to see how that affects the overall.
I don't know why I said points. I was meant to say kills.
Looking to try and push on towards team.
That was a mistake by me, but I at least I brought up that they got 4 kills.
Affect all of these teams.
Yeah, T1 just barely out of circle, so they got to try and move.
I really like that by Youngjum.
Snake their way through potential and avoid detection. They're on the position where most teams already see them, but the last player of Box Gaming Ward taken out. 7th position for them overall. 6 teams still in play for this one, and this is one.
Yeah, you're right, Rita. You are dead right.
Gentlemen, a pretty more passive one. Not too many big fights happening, but the fight for this position is extremely hard to play around.
We do now lose Big E-Tron in 6th. So the top 3 teams have finished in, I believe, 8th, 7th, and 6th, respectively. Now down to the last 5 teams. Nova Godlike still in it. They get a knockdown onto Udu Gank with Valdez still up as a full squad.
Valdez trying their best.
I did like that as well. Like I like that point. I definitely think I did a good job of being clean and concise with that information. So definitely like my casting there.
That will indeed be the case, but Satan with the grenades onto Team IND. Look at the surprise, a little bit too short, unfortunately, on that.
Yeah, I do, Yogesh.
That
sometimes talking to somebody about that, I think nades need to be changed. In some way nerfed, basically.
And also Vamp OP, they're going to go for the push there. Don't know where they are right now on both sides. It's going to be a little bit too much. Nova Godlike absolutely destroying Udu Gang. They still got 1 player, and they get the fight for themselves. Nova Godlike.
Honestly, that was just great by Nova.
Exists. comes in, gets a clean-up job done as a blue zone also impacted these two teams, but T1 behind the rock gets a knockdown, gets a confirmation. 4 teams left standing.
I think I definitely was like, you don't know me, I DM you your birdie? Huh? I'm a little bit confused. Yeah, I definitely agree, Marta. I'm really happy with how I channel the energy of the Nova wipe onto Udo onto the T1 knock of Team IND, and I just brought that through. I'm really happy about that. Like, because we're getting into the 22-23 minute mark of the game, right? And a moment like that, it has to be recognized, but you can also use a moment like that to elevate to elevate other teams and other knocks and other, you know, throughout the game. So it's something that I'm really happy I did in that moment.
Gets a clean-up job done as a blue zone also impacted these two teams, but T1 behind the rock gets a knockdown, gets a confirmation. 4 teams left standing.
Shotgun plays in the late game. I think I haven't seen that yet on Sandhawk and PMWL. You love to see it. So many different things happening on this map.
And then Max carried it over really well. I didn't leave it too high for Max. I left it at the right moment where Max could just carry it over, make his point in an intense way, and it was just a little bit better, you know?
Teams are currently in the circle. T1 gone angle by Valdez the murder. Valdez getting so many angles on the western side. It's just so hard to deal with. But Nova,
thanks for the follow, Tiny Bunny.
Eliminated in 4th position. One team I've seen struggling quite a bit. That is Team IND losing 3 players. 1 player still remaining, but Velmoth will get the angle. Valdez picking it up. 5 kills so far, looking so strong in his finish.
Full squad pushing from the outside of the circle, allowing all the teams to take each other out as they're down to full squad, taking control. Just 1 player left standing, wrapping around. Job done. Chicken dinner for Valdez the murder.
I liked the way I ended that, and then because like Valdez the murder.
Through the blue, and they were going to take the game. Greatly done, great control with 4 members. They took the great positions to take the game. It was just very by the book, and you love to see it.
Can't wait to see what the overall standings are going to end up as we do throw it over to the desk.
Hey Everest, Chris, how you getting on? Okay, let's bring it over to the last game. So this is it. This is the...
Can it be?
So this is it, right? This was like the last game. This was the, you know, this is the do or die.
Erangel and these 3 teams at the very top. It's gonna be...
Actually,
there's our Aaron.
Yeah.
That's a lead.
I am calling
As well to come.
League winners.
replay.
That's right, that's right. Here's our 11th through 20th as well, as we
Ross.
have
I have something here.
Okay.
something to say.
It is not possible anymore to get that 16 spot.
Frost fluffed that, but it's still so funny. Like,
it is not possible. I am calling it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, great.
It was brave that you admit.
yeah, this last game is absolute poggers, to be
I was
honest.
keeping it alive. I thought it was.
I think I'll have some
but
whiskey to,
seeing this
you
now,
know.
I gotta say, it's
I mean,
not
last
possible.
game they could still potentially get some insane.
Even if they got 60 kills and a win, it wouldn't be enough.
I can't super chat you. It's fine. I don't want people to super chat me.
It's so hot and spicy. I mean, I think I just need to cool
No,
myself down a
my
little bit.
God.
Oh yeah.
That's illegal. Quite illegal.
So good.
Nobody expected that.
Put it back there.
It's just staying there now.
Nice.
All right. So, we have, of course, now 1 game remaining where it is going to be... There we go. There's our Erangel. Frost, you just keep drinking that, Frost. You just keep drinking that.
I'm thirsty.
It's gonna be
Keep on talking. I'm drinking here.
Erangel and these 3 teams at the very top.
Good old Frost.
Teams could quite easily take it.
So remember, RQ is being pushed out of Pachinki. They're forced to go somewhere else, right? So they're already kind of in a backhand situation where they have to do something else. They could go for Morris, they could go Ferry. I mean, there's multiple options.
But just know that they're gonna go Prim again. They're gonna pick up that circle magnet and just gonna keep on going, right?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, they kind of, let's be honest, they have to avoid Pachinki, right?
Right.
This is going to be...
And when will I stream PUBG? When I get back to Ireland,
Okay.
Grab the
I'll stream
popcorn instead.
PUBG.
It's time to get into
Where's the
our
popcorn?
last game here to figure out who is going to be the winner. Let's head over to our commentating team for all the Erangel. Let's find the popcorn, quick.
Where's the popcorn?
Let's go.
This way. This way.
44 games, 3 weekends. It comes down to this final one. 3 teams vying for that first place $50,000 prize.
Oh, big boy, that's a lot of...
I think I did. I'm really happy with how I summed it up, to be honest. Like, I'm really happy with how I just kind of... I maybe I could have been a little bit more intense, but I didn't want to be too intense. I wanted the words to just speak for itself, right? 44 games, you know, over 3 weekends. I wanted that to speak for itself, and I definitely think I did a good job of summing it up, and it came down to that one game.
It's a lot of
It's
popcorn.
also a lot of Mountain Dew.
Also, damn. That's actually maybe what these teams are playing.
And I'm pretty happy with that. That's also a lot of Mountain Dew.
Get for themselves. At the end of the
And
day,
yeah,
this is the
we
final
weren't
game.
really
This is
allowed.
what we've been
We had Mountain
aiming
Dew in the
for the
fridges,
past 3
so we had to
seasons.
use those days where they were like
Qualifying
mainly
ready for
props,
Elite Eight
Hugo.
ready, even though we already basically know, but which will be our top 1, 2, and 3 teams in position to fight for that prize pool of the Super Weekend.
And I just love the fact that it's ending on the hollow grounds of Erangel. We say it time and time again. We start with Erangel, we end with Erangel. It is the bookmark to end all bookmarks. 15 points dividing the top 3 teams, Max.
That is nothing.
I really like that, you know, I know I already mentioned it, but it's just kind of like, you know, 15 teams separating the top 3 teams, you know, really like that.
But as you're going to see RQ, once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, going back to promotion.
No, not go like, I see where you come from, but they had a lot to lose.
Battle, the heart-pumping moments of this game will come down to the top 3, but 2 teams I'd like to highlight. One is Team IND.
Yeah, and that was also something I wanted to, and I know I'd done it in the first couple of games, but even in the last game, I still wanted to give credit for a couple of seconds to a couple of teams because I felt like it was you know, worthwhile, and I feel like that. Look, you know, you can't go the whole 25 minutes just talking about the top 3 teams, right? You know, you have to give some kind of context. You have to create those subplots, those sub storylines, and I still wanted to evolve those, you know.
59 points in 4 games today. The progression, the evolution of what was poor last week, I definitely want to highlight as a strength coming into the finals next week.
I think they've been a team that have definitely improved a lot and showed us what they can do, just like, for example, you level up and also Team Secret, so you got to respect the amount of work coming out from all of these teams. The Circle did pop up a little bit more over to the eastern side, but Monley is going to be going up north. You know, at least for a fact, is not going to go onto Northgate Island, so Team IND and Megastars, there's no doubt in their mind they're going to have to cross on over the water.
Yeah, Will and Marta, I'll try to count the smokes.
One
of the best games from BTR, Hugo.
At the end of Super Weekend number 2, they were 64 points behind.
Oh, yeah.
The end of...
Yeah, and I wanted to mention Valdez.
Stars, there's no doubt in their mind they're going to have to cross on over the water.
And the second team I want to highlight is Valdez, the murder. At the end of Super Weekend number 2, they were 64 points.
I don't know you guys. It's a good question.
Coming into this last game, they're 7 points. I've seen them really shine so much brighter, be more aggressive, and be more cohesive throughout this last week. But anyway, like you said, River and Play. I don't want to ask for a prediction, but I'm going to because it's the last game. Where do you predict this is going to end?
Well, I predict for an Asden more find a lot of trouble.
I like that by Max.
They're going to go for the push onto Mato, been really low. Mato getting some really good fights, Team Secret. Oh boy, Morph, what is going on? 2 members knocked away, leaving 1 player extremely low, and that will be Zay. Does he even have a weapon? He's trying to play punches right now. I don't think this is the right game, but at the end, they're going to go for it. Bonk on the head, and you say bye-bye to Morph Team.
Hello, darkness. My old friend.
That's me in high school right there.
I was like, here, look at me, see. So once again, RQ dropping down, not quite by Primorsk because it's a little bit further away with an eastern playing path, but they've dropped.
Yeah, but I think Amarty means for
nice
finals.
team rotation with Team Secret, the only team really being on the southwest side, as you've seen them get a couple of kills onto Morph. Will they go to Everest again, or will they occupy to maybe go onto that compound by the side of the river on the west side?
I'd love to see, like, RRQ Athena, they can definitely have a lot of room on the western side. They can easily rotate next to Hospital, Gatka, George Pole, and try and rotate around there. So it would be really safe for them. Yeah. Just like really the first game on Erangel, right? It was a pretty similar circle for them. It did go in their favor quite a bit. They played on the edge as they like to do on the early stages if they have to. And it worked perfectly. They got a great position on the mountaintop. And
I think Max said they were perfectly too much there, but yeah.
In this game.
Valdez, King of Gamers, and Arendrock in their usual spots. Arendrock are a little bit, just a tiny bit more easterly than having one member across the river on this kind of circle, but I think that's okay, depending on when they start moving. It's just like I'm thinking, our team's going to commit to the north of the river or the south of the river in phase 1, or is there any real need to commit at this early stage?
What you could do is just send a scout on over. You see Arendrock do that time and time again, and I think that it would be a valid option to do that. Just send one player up top into the compound.
Max repeated my point a little bit, but yeah.
And it's not really too much of an issue. If you send one player on over and the circle goes back down south, you know what? You've still got players in the southern section. Send him back.
They will not change, bro. What I believe, and they shouldn't change for their own benefit. Your opinion? We'll have to wait and see in finals. I don't think they should change, but we'll have to wait.
Exactly. And I think it would be the better way just to make sure and make up for a very unfortunate circle shift just in case it happens.
Just keeping an eye. BTR are still down on the southwest side, outside farm. Galaxy Racer Celts in Milta. T1 are in Milta Power as normal. You level up on Prison. I know, though, Max, we still have 4 days of finals next week. I know, but there's a little bit of a tear in my eye that we are getting to the end, that we are on the last game of the Super Weekend. These teams, all of these teams, have fought so hard over the last 3 weeks. Every single country they're representing, every single, org. It's amazing.
What are you trying to do right now, Imperium? Trying to make me cry? Is that what you're trying to do?
I am.
Trying to make me cry, Imperium?
They're 2 days jiggy.
No, it is definitely.
On Thursday.
It is getting closer and closer to the end, but at the end, it's still, it's spring split. You still got full split right
know.
We're only halfway through 2020.
I know, but still.
Cheer up, Imperium. Cheer up. It's fine.
I'm fine. I'm not crying, you're crying.
Yeah, it's okay. But as I said, right, Mega
tiny bit awkward it got with me, Max here. I think like it could have been that with, maybe he took away from the seriousness, but then again, I think it was fun in the end.
Easy biddings for Megastars at the end for Vexy specifically. But yeah, a lot of teams, as we like to see, going to go pretty central towards Headshot Valley, as Blank and John like to call it. And it's an interesting position early on.
Video is lagging. It's just probably because my laptop isn't the best. So sorry about that.
And this is what I was talking about with Arendrock. After they initially looted that little bit of a few compounds to the south of school, they have decided to more head towards the northern edge of Watertown and that little compound across the road outside Roshawk, which is a wise choice considering this phase 1 circle. I also really like the rotation from you level up. They've actually sent themselves far more centralized.
I've taken off the YouTube feed, so hopefully it's a little bit better.
They've started playing a little bit more, aggressive in repositioning, taking big points.
Yeah.
Let me know if it's a little bit better, Ariane.
That's been one of the big points on which you level up has been improving, and I think that they deserve a lot of respect for that. As Galaxy Racer Cells just moving away of Milta, Bigatron going to be around it, but they know that, so they're still going to be trying to keep a very safe distance of where they might take a fight. But Rock's still going to be put under fire by Ryzen. The distance just a little bit too far. Just hit one bullet with 22 damage. But there you go. They'll make it swiftly away in the distance, making it towards a more central position in the circle, which is how they like to play it around.
And I think that's a little bit of an earlier rotation from Celts that we might have seen in the past, and I think that makes sense, and it's part of the reason why BTR didn't really get a knock. That was a nice little flip. Because they weren't maybe as
I like that tiny little thing of just like
catch out Celts, so that's really nice.
I kind of like that little bit of thing of just recognizing like, that's a nice tiny little flip, but then continuing on with my point. I'm really happy with about that. Like, just that last game just felt and sounded so much better between the two of us. So yeah.
The boys from India, as I say once again. We did see in the feed King Gamers get knocked down until you level up, by the way.
Yeah, there was a lot of fight from the distance, but it's not really going to result in a full-on engagement war between the two teams, so we should be okay. But now teams are slowly going to try and make their way through. They delayed the circle rotation as much as they possibly could, and now they got to make their way in. T1 specifically going to be the one doing so. But I think that Megastars and Team ID delaying it maybe a little bit too much, but they know, especially Megastars, they know how Bigatron like to play. They know that they don't want to stay on the edge of the circle if there's no need to. They already started to move on forward, and Megastars, they got the timing spot on perfect.
You can see Winter, if you level up.
Hey, Lotus, PUBG Mobile, how you getting on?
Sound of the SLR on the side. Now, I think it's a little bit tough to rapid fire with the recoil on the SLR, but I really love the way it sounds, at least for me. But then again, I'm a giant bot.
I prefer the Uzi, just...
Hey, I'm really bad at saying that.
I'm really bad at saying that, and I thought it was still funny, just like, Uzi goes, bruh, and then...
Okay, do you want to
Usually go.
There you go.
That's how it goes. That's fine. Like, we're getting a little bit closed off teams, especially on the southern western side. That's going to be Box Gaming. They did move away from Ferry Pier, and they are reading the circle really well. The playing path was mainly focalized center / mostly on the eastern side, and know that not a lot of teams will be there. So the safest way to get yourself in circle is through the west, and they're reading that perfectly.
Yeah, and there's even so much space in between RQ on the southwestern side of the circle, and King of Gamers basically outside.
I'm good, Lotus, PUBG Mobile.
Are still in Pachinki, so there's a lot of rotational space.
I can't do that.
Gonna pop up.
Like, okay, so like I know I'm kind of meant to be like analyzing my casting, but look at the space between RQ and no, like nobody's there. Like, you know, it's really like, I know Box Gaming normally go on the south, but Box Gaming actually wrapped around to north because they were playing it safe. Which might be like the most for competitive casting? Vikendi.
River being to play, and not too heavily actually. It's going to be going mostly down south on the eastern side. Megastars will do their rotation.
Like, I think RQ might have thought Box Gaming were there, but RQ still like really were far too quiet.
ID, so they'll make it back over to the mainland. But now the teams that were on the west, you got Team Secret, Box Gaming, RQ Athena, they're going to have to make their way through. I think that Nova Godlike maybe taking a little bit too long to rotate away from Pachinki and aim for center, but they might do it right now as they find the open between Team Secret and Box Gaming. What will be happening? Going to get the up onto Lewis. With a car 98.
Oh, that's a spicy meatball of a shot. Right.
I love that.
The face. So good play coming out from Team Secret. Of course, they are now outside the circle. To touch upon your point with Nova Godlike, I would generally agree if it wasn't for the fact that Phase On was quite heavily up north, but now that's shifted down to southeast, they should move out, which they are doing.
Yeah, they'll do. They're actually going out of the circle a little bit. They're going to try and say hello maybe to Team Secret and Box Gaming, but Box, they lost that one player confirmed. Going to swiftly keep on going up north.
They
are. I think they're going to go highly up north next to shooting range, maybe, or at least the northern side of George Paul, because they know there's only one team that plays there, right? And that's going to be Udagank. Udagank already rotated into Rozhog, so that's going to make things even easier for them. I think that's one valid option to go, but really Box Gaming, I can't read what they're going to do here. I think that they are indeed going to go for the safer northern rotation. That would make a lot more sense in my mind.
And I do think Nova are
lucky Box. Wasn't unlucky, it was their own fault.
You know, don't know exactly what's going on, but we'll have to wait to see what does happen. Is TSM rotate down south.
Negative space from last 3 minutes. I'm trying to create Twitch account, but saying wrong again and again. OTP's wrong. Oh, that's weird. Negative space.
Yeah. Just a big cluster of teams once again in the center. One thing you got to keep in mind, right, is the fact that Synergy are not here. Synergy, they were a team that would always play an extra potato hill. That means their position is completely unoccupied. And one team that has some good amount of success over there, it was Team IND. They started doing actually pretty decent over there, and even RQ Athena. So those are two teams that could try and take that position away and play a little bit of central around Potato Hill, because the amount of information that position can give you.
Yeah, streaming on Twitch and YouTube.
Of course.
I was thinking RQ more than Team IND simply because of the fact that I don't think Team IND have been as successful holding on to Potato Hill, but you make a really good point that they've at least tried. And you know, but RQ, like Box Gaming, are being extremely cautious. They're still on Pachinki Hill down on the southwest side of the
They were so cautious.
You know, no mistakes. They're respecting every single millimeter and inch of this land, of this map, of this game.
I'm just also looking for...
I didn't want to bring up the point of maybe they're... Hey, Sasha and Sid, how you getting on? I didn't want to bring up the point. I really need to go to the toilet, so I'm going to go to the toilet in a sec. I didn't want to bring up the point of them maybe, like, you know, choking it. Why am I... Oh, Sasha. Oh, man. Oh, man. Don't make me ban you in chat. Thanks for a follow, Radix. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, cool. Martin, two finger overpowered. Oh no, Hugo, that's a joke between Sasha and me, Hugo. Thank you though for looking after me, but no, that's a joke between me and Sasha.
So yeah, now to confirm.
Also, I just realized I wasn't muted. No, Sasha, I'm not gonna make you mod. And Hugo, that's a joke between me and Sasha.
Northern rotation down south of fruiting range. That's going
Oh
to be
no, actually no, I think I just modded myself.
Most teams
muted myself.
They like to go more central, so not going to have too much gatekeeping unless it's going to be for Valdez and also for you to gank.
And with Reject not playing, they should know that only TSM would have landed in Yaz9. They would have moved down.
Yeah, all good, Hugo. It's all good.
A little bit more of space, but it's that lack of information.
Oh no, Drax. I was about to say, Drax is like getting very close to compounds that are most of the time occupied. You know the Valdez and you know the King of Gamers play around this area. I think it was a little bit, you know, maybe trying to assume the teams might be here and he's going to be swiftly taken out of the game. So you've got to be careful about that one, but Valdez and King of Gamers holding tightly the northern side and you've got to be very careful. But there's so much room down south of Yaz9.
You in Discord? No, I'm not. T-God. What? Yeah. I have Discord open.
I didn't mind you do like coming straight down south and heading into Rosshog based on that phase 2 shift. There's more the fact that they kind of lost that scout off the back of it. But where's phase 3 going to go? It centers up quite nicely with the majority of the teams inside the circle. Once again, I feel bad for RRQ. They just can't seem to catch a break.
They had a circle magnet, you know, on the first game, and because it was in Primorse, they said, but at the end, the circle magnet is not going to work out for them, so they're going to have to do a big run for it with Team ID, Team Secret, and even Nova Godlike at this point. I said it, I wanted Nova Godlike to move a little bit earlier, delayed it a little bit, and they're going to have Team Secret on their tail, so they've got to be careful behind them as they might clash on the west.
It was a great circle shift for Box Gaming, right?
Oh, yeah.
They can just come
they get 200 subscribers. Awesome.
And pocket themselves maybe to one of the really nicely
awesome
positioned compounds to the southwest of Yasnaya.
There's even a plateau available where normally T1 like to play around, but this time they're just going to be waiting.
Yeah, exactly, risky.
Pickings for Box Gaming. Some Mad Max style fighting will be happening so far with RQ Athena, Team ID, and even Nova Godlike, but they're going to try and get themselves around Potato Hill, which is the area I talked about where RQ Athena and Team ID got a little bit of experience, but RQ has been a little bit more successful.
Beer's being confirmed. RQ down to 3 players.
That's going to be very
we'll have to see how that's going to be. I know what. Yeah, right, Sasha. I know I probably could have maybe have not said that so like crazy, but I thought it was Just wait 2 seconds. Just responded to somebody on Discord. It's like, just, he sent me like 5-6 messages. I'm like, just let me like, you know. Yeah, I don't know if I could have like done that a little bit better in terms of yeah.
snake their way through. But Team IND got multiple angles under control.
Love the commentary you did. Thank you. Thank you.
It's going to be very intriguing. But I think that here you might want to try and get yourself in circle very, very quickly because the circle is already starting to try and get smaller around these squads and is tightening up.
And Ernie got dropped and killed.
Oh, 420 OP hitting the shots with that mini 14.
Ernie, confirmed. RQ down to 2 players. They're scared. And is this a glimpse of what we might see in the finals, where teams are battling for that top spot, where there's that mental pressure, there's that lack of confidence, there's the uncertainty of what's going to happen, and they don't play their normal play style? It's really interesting, but RQ, they're under pressure.
Yeah, RQ
I wanted to kind of bring that up a little bit as well. I kind of wanted to, you know, kind of, you know, sow that little bit of a seed of you know, kind of, look, this is a finals day. This is a final, like, you know, it's crazy, like. Thanks, negative space.
Doesn't quite connect. You know, there's another angle on the other side.
Yeah, RQ should have rotated already.
His way through those 2 players of RQ. Athena is going to be way too far now. G9 will be taking the blue zone tick damage also as Team ID keep the pressure down. RQ has been completely reversed, and I thought RQ were really deciding how that fight was going to break out. But you know what? Team ID reversed the steam in that engagement. It was greatly executed.
Tell you what was also
the whole of RQ choked Amarta, to be honest.
Actually disengaged.
Yeah, psychological mentality is the biggest difference.
Coming in through the south of Yasnaya, we don't really see
it. Like Box actually rotated okay. Box did rotate okay, to be honest. They did. Like, I love their rotation coming in from the north. Like, it was actually quite intelligent from Box, but they still choked.
And they got himself into the Yasnaya Pollyanna fields down south. It's an interesting position. They might have to move away, so they've got to be careful.
It was just a bad last game, to be honest, Yogesh.
They got a little bit of high ground and compounds available, so they know exactly.
Can you share your starting experience in casting? I'm actually going to show. I'm going to show a video after this of me casting in 2017 negative when I first started casting. So you'll see. You'll see.
Next phase moves up. So however it shifts, like right now, where it does go down to southeast, they can instantly rotate to that compound on the northern side of the circle. So this could be a great opportunity for you, do.
I think the T1, they found the circle magnet in Milter Power this time. It's going to be going over hardly to the east. But now they're over. Great spray coming up from Slayer, but unfortunately not quite enough bullets in the magazine.
It was good by Slayer, because it kept the pressure on Nova, and it gave chance for the revive to come through into 420. It was actually really good shots from Slayer.
A little bit risky, but you know what? So far, they haven't suffered really big casualties whatsoever.
And he's the only one that's in the blue zone for his side, so, you know, I think that was really clean. Although getting in the vehicle was risky, but he was able to survive somewhat, I think.
Sneaking their way past this engagement. They just don't want to take it, yeah.
Yeah, just avoid it all.
2017 Imperium, oh my god, yeah, don't, yeah. It's not going to be pretty.
Because you can just avoid teams on the other side.
They were just too passive afterwards, and they were, yeah, it was just one of those things, risky.
They're far from out of the woods just yet, though, because they are still quite a bit away from the circle.
And there's a lot of teams down south. They're going to have to cross over a road. Also, you've got Morph team, you've got Bigatron, you've got TSM Entity, you've even got T1 on the
How much money you invest in your PC?
They must be holding their breath so far.
For my PC, including second monitor, is about $2.5 grand. It's going to be so cringe, T-God. It's going to be absolute cringe, T-God. But you know what? We'll have a good laugh together.
React to that circle shift much quicker than you do. Therefore, they got the compound advantage. But now, Valdez, the murder, gonna join in on the fight.
Third party galore.
I really like that because I was really happy with that because I kind of like I peaked it up a tiny bit, but instead of like going Valdez murder gonna join in on the fight or something like that, you know, I was kind of like Valdez are going to join in on the fight, and then kind of brought it down. And I thought it was really nice.
Grenade coming out from Godard towards you again. Kind of grenade of Velmoth will be going towards you. Level up. They're taking 2 fights at the same time. We've got to say how hard that is. But if you do have good team communication and synergy, you can make it happen. Oh, they're just leaving. Okay, this is the mini.
That was really good from you, dude. Really good by you, dude, to disengage.
That amount of pressure was huge.
Like, it was always going to be risky.
Way, realizing, hey, look, we'd lost a player.
Yeah.
Let's not lose again. Although Fredo's gone a little bit closer, returning fire, maybe going for the back line, as Nova Godlike are eliminated.
Yeah, that will be the last time we see Nova Godlike as they get confirmed out of the game. They will not be making over to the league finals, so it was good having you guys, but we'll see you later in a full split at the end of the day. But now, you level up, you're still holding on
like,
to the little compound.
the push by Valve is so bad. Your prediction for finals don't have a prediction, you'll get.
How they play, if they get one knockdown or two, that is when they fully send it to a compound breach.
Team IND going to be pinching between Team Seeker and Orange Rock. Team Seeker currently find themselves overall in 5th place, trying to get over into that 4th place position. They're only 20 or 21 points, should I say, behind King of Gamers with another chicken dinner. They could easily do it.
Yeah, they need a stonk over game though, Imperium. They need some big position and big kill points if they want to just confirm the fact they can overtake that position away. Now Megastar's got a swag through the car, gonna make that rotation. Snack's got a perfect angle. They spray it down and absolutely destroy Paradox. That was the last play of Megastars out in 15th. Now 14 players in this one. We're getting closer and closer to the end game. Imperium is getting more intriguing as time goes by, but Team ID.
I like the fact Max, you know, says Imperium sometimes.
Two other players over.
You know,
so they can secure position in the circle, but they still got 2 fights to take on with Orange Rock and even Team Secret.
But the good thing is that has given a tiny bit of space for RQ to actually wrap around a little bit more in the southwest and put G9 into the circle, but TSM Entity are potentially camping them. When you look at Box Gaming, they're on the northwest, and BTR are the circle magnets as the next circle shifts up, and they're on the south tip just inside.
Well, I'd say just inside, but you're actually just outside, in fairness. That was a little bit of a poor one, but there you go.
Huge plays from Orange Rock onto Team Secret. Destroy the car, Scout absolutely destroying TS. And now Rex will be left alone. Matoy was knocked out, so he's not going to be joining the party whatsoever. Orange Rock, they need to capitalize on this fight to make sure they can facilitate their rotation away. We still got one sneaky player of Team IND. Okay, I take that one back. He's going to be eliminated. Team IND go out in 13th.
Well, the reason Galaxy Racer sets could potentially third party when they make their way across the road. But now as Mavi pushes his way through, it's just going to be Matoy wrapping around, coming in on the blue zone. What intelligent play! Mavi with the blue zone push takes down Team Secret.
Really done. You know, you just can't do some grenade pushes, but you're going to have some pushes, especially coming down the center. That's going to be Box Gaming getting eliminated right there in this game. They went first position. Pushes blue zone. Put one back. He's going to make sure they can facilitate. Alone, Matoy was knocked out, so he's not going to be joining the party whatsoever. Orange Rock, they need to capitalize on this fight to make sure they can facilitate their rotation away. We still got one sneaky player of Team IND. Okay, I take that one back. He's going to be eliminated. Team IND go out in 13th.
Well, the reason Galaxy Racer sets could potentially third party when they make their way across the road. But now as Mavi pushes his way through, it's just going to be Matoy wrapping around, coming in on the blue zone. What intelligent play! Mavi with the blue zone push takes down Team Secret.
Really done by Mavi. No, you just can't do some grenade pushes, but you're going to have some pushes, especially coming down the center. That's going to be Box Gaming getting eliminated right there in this game. They went first position. Things are getting more and more stressful. Things come by. Bigatron and RQ Athena still in this one.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
This must be intense for the two remaining players. Bigatron.
Sorry, but I have to go back.
In on the blue zone. What intelligent play.
Yeah,
Mavi
I actually like that.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Team Secret.
Really done by
yeah, I actually like that. I actually. Hey, Mesh Pande, how you getting on?
That's going to be Box Gaming getting eliminated right there in this game. They went first position. Things are getting more and more stressful. Things come by. Bigatron and RQ Athena still in this one, but man, this must be intense for the two remaining players. Bigatron and RQ, who might take this game?
I can confirm Box Gaming have scored.
And I did fuck up in this last game with TSM Entity. I fucked up big time, but yeah, we'll get to that.
The last game. Now it's wide open for BTR and RQ to fight over the top spot. But we do lose our RQ. They're
I made such a mistake there. Such a mistake there.
RQ Athena, they got one kill so far, but they need more. Oh, they lose an extra player. G9, he's got
a... Max fixed it for me. Max fixed it for me. He recovered it so well, but I fucked up big time.
With a buggy, and he does make it out. But now Bigatron, they still got 4 players. They are control. They could take first position away, Imperium. This is huge.
I made a mistake. I thought our GQ and RQ were down and out, but they actually eliminated TSM Entity. The fight for the top remains strong.
Indeed.
Like I had to like recover myself, but Max did a great job.
They're gonna keep on moving forward. Galaxy Racer sells, but RQ thinking they get eliminated. Bigatron are left alone in the top 3 position, and they are fighting down in the southern section. Now they've got to try and gather them as many points and kills as possible in this game. If they can do so, they might just steal the win.
I can confirm for now that RQ have only scored 5 points. That's all I'm going to say as BTR are counting their lucky stars. But I will let you know that right now...
True, MH Pandy, that is what co-casters are for, but still, you know, I never want to fuck up like that, so it's always something that, you know, you always need to be aware of. I need to be better.
They might just have to cross over the road and go downhill in the Valley area versus King of Gamers, Galaxy Racer South. Even you level up and Valdez the Murder have great position to fight on. Even T1 on the eastern side of the circle might decide the fate of Bigatron. Nice shot from Ultron. Patsy headshot. Bolte onto Mavi or Orange Rock as Orange Rock get eliminated. That was the last player up. 7th position.
Whoa! Thanks for the subscription, Smack. What the fuck, bro? Dude!
Game in your very own hands.
Thank you very much, man. Jesus, really appreciate it.
And you level up. The smoke's being thrown out as they try to make their way over the dip of the hill. I talked about how strong.
Morning, bro. How are you, Smack?
Since the Super Weekend #2, will they be able
this
to
is such a bad push.
that I've set themselves up for?
I mean, Valdez had to crash this compound eventually. Their little mountain that they took earlier away was going to be in the blue very soon. So you know what? They have no choice. They have to try and take the fight over to you level up with still 4 players up for themselves. Velmoth was knocked away, but you know what? They're not going to try and go for the re-engage. They're not going to deny and flush that kill out. So Valdez going to try their best, but the grenades come out from Kamau. Now they've got to full send it. You level up. They're going to be sending 1 player. Jackson on the side to get a nice angle onto Godard. He's left alone in that specific area. You level up, going to go for the engage. Godard puts so down.
Wow.
And they get a triple knockdown. But oh my god, where's the last player so far? Valdez, he's still remaining behind. Not really bringing assistance over to his team. And they're down to only 1 player. That's going to be Martin.
That was a poor push from Valdez. I got what they were trying to do, leaving Martin on the back line, but at the end of the day, the way Valdez sent themselves in, they weren't able to bait You Level Up, and You Level Up are far more prepared. The circle does shift away from BTR.
I think that was okay. On a normal situation, on a normal game, I wouldn't have been so intense on that circle shift, but because it...
in from the south side, across the road they go, but T1 are guarding them.
That's because it was BTR now outside the circle. I felt like that carry-on momentum of intensity helped to elevate of how important this last game was. You know, hey, Pro Dead Noob, how you getting on? So that's something that I was like really actually happy about. Once again, it's like carrying the momentum of one engagement onto another or onto something else. You know, I'm definitely really happy with that.
I'm sure they have information on them. Not only that, there's also Galaxy Racer Self and Bossa, the last player of King of Gamers Club. As Velmoth gets taken out of Valdez the Murder.
But look at this. Okay, yeah. So MJ actually knocked down Rocks. Okay.
Luxy was sent actually over, just gathering information.
Okay, so BTR don't push yet, but now they push because Bosa has knocked down a tanky, and they realize that they have the perfect opportunity to third party.
Over King of Games get eliminated, 5 teams still in play. They're going to crash it into Galaxy Racer Celts, but MJ making things happen, but it's just not going to be enough. 2 members knocked away in that dip, but they are still alive and eliminate them. Valdez also take the L. We have 3 teams still in play, Pyramid and Bigatron are still part of it.
They've got 3 kills. They were able to create some space. They saw that kill onto King of Gamers and knew that they had to strike while the iron is hot.
Hey,
We're down to the top 3 teams. We are in the golden moments where BTR will be able to secure that top spot. They still have a full squad up.
They were able to get the double res. That is huge.
I probably could have been a little bit smoother with that, to be honest. That was a little bit too starty and stoppy. It was a little bit too... I could have been a bit smoother. I could have been a little bit like, you know, kind of, you know, like we seen them. They've taken the kill on to Galaxy Racer Cells. They, of course, took advantage of the opportunity that they had in front of them. And as we are down to the last 3 teams, BTR have firm control of taking the top spot. I definitely could have been a lot smoother with that, but I still think I was pretty intense, so that kind of worked out.
Doing a run for it on an angle where Winter can't take easy shots with DSLR, and they make it low and low. Even have a little bit of that little crate in the center. This could be huge for them, but the circle's going to be popped.
to be honest, there may be many top fragging teams, maybe so much more powerful compared teams, but BTR is something else. Pressure handling, comebacks from last to first, there are the things to define a champion. Pretty much lazy hippo. Yeah, couldn't have said that better myself. But time will tell if they'll end up as champions though. Hey, Hellrider 2.
$1,000 for first place, 25 for second as a circle shifts away from BTR, but there is a golden airdrop that can at least give some form of protection to BTR, but they have to move out of the little dip that they're in and right into the vision of you level up.
Bigatron, you have to show us.
This is where the amount of smokes used was just so imperative.
No, for sure, but maybe beforehand they'll have to take a fight.
They also waited for you level up to engage onto T1.
To miss out T1 down to now 3 players. Do they want to maybe try and
That was
capitalize?
a great grenade by Microboy.
Oh my god, no! What happened there? Ryzen explodes in the face of Microboy. Oh, so unexpected, but another player of T1
Yeah.
indeed knocked away down to 2, Yonjun and Sadin, but the rest will...
Great by Max to react to that as well. That was really good by Max to react.
And even Zuxi a little bit closer into the circle. At least they got 2 players in circle. Is done, but ZZP eliminated also by the grenade of a player of you level up. Things are getting more and more intense. Imperium, who's going to take it?
Was that the grenade that blows up $50,000 into the eyes of BTR? They've been able to recover. They've been able to get revived up, healed up, and has a full squad.
Up.
I also like that little bit, kind of like, you know, was that blow up in the face, you know, that 50 grand. I really like that, to be honest.
Bigatron and T1 were able to heal themselves up. T1 lost 1 player confirmed.
Max did a great job of then, you know, bringing it back down.
This man's getting bullied and knocked so many times, but Missile will bleed to his doom, eliminated and confirmed by Zuxi. That's an extra kill. This will be extremely important for them on the long run, Imperium.
Also, BTR...
He did a great job of, like, that'd be really important. Long run, what do you mean long run in terms of, like, the next, like, 3 minutes?
They know you level up, have more of a sight line on T1, but just as I say that, Qmao gets a knockdown on the Ryzen.
Still got 3 players, and normally maybe enough time to go for the res. The circle is halfway done. Like we know of Yunjun getting really close to Zuxi.
There's one really good moment which I absolutely loved, which I think I either mentioned before happened or when I wanted it to happen. Hey, Negative Space over on Twitch.
He's dropped.
Hey, Midoriya, how you getting on?
He wants to end the run of BTR, but another grenade by BTR puts Sadin down to half health. All the while, you level up, still up as a full squad as Microboy gets knocked by Youngjun.
Like, okay, so Luxie, in my opinion, I know they didn't have any smokes, but I still think Luxie should have sent that vehicle in that direction, okay, to try and get some form of information on the rest of T1 and the rest of you level up. I know Microboy was just knocked, so I understood why he didn't do it then, but I still think before Microboy got knocked, Luxie should have sent that vehicle there. But anyway.
If they don't have any more smokes, they used so many earlier to cross the road. If they have no more smokes, this might actually seal the fate of...
Because right now, all they're doing while the blue zone is closing in is just kind of peeking. Now they do start throwing out a shitload of smokes.
This might make it happen. The grenade's so close onto Yeonjun, but not quite able to get the knock. But the second...
And I love the fact that they go for the grenade. Man, I gotta give credit to BTR.
Bigatron, these are kills that they desperately need.
So, Luxie, send the vehicle forward, put it into the circle,
yeah,
then blow it up, but all the while that will alert you level up. You level up and focusing. Young, T1 goes down. BTR into the top 2.
They got 6 kills, Imperium, and now if they can just confirm this chicken dinner.
So how many smokes?
Okay. Our analyst desk
1, 2.
Absolutely mental of how things are going so far, but you level up, still holding strong to their compound, but they've got to move on
3, 4, 5, 6.
You level up as a full squad, BTR up as a
7.
full squad.
Oh my god, Bigatron, they got the smokes, the utility comes on 3, and you level
up
in their own right now.
Okay, so right now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay.
It's going to be ending into hand
8, 9.
Combat into this one, Imperium. Grenade's very close to Luxie and Microboy, but they can't quite get it, but Hyugsans gets the nice shot onto the one-player Microboy with the M.
Okay, you level up, should have pushed this. You level up, should have pushed this. They had that knock, they had the smokes, they should have pushed. But they didn't.
From the rooftop is huge.
They allowed the revive to come off. They got too passive.
Ryzen going for the last second res. It's risky, but they're going to send Luxie forward with Dacia.
I called that, I said they needed to do that, and then Zuxi gets a knockdown.
Winter just going to be a little bit tricky behind the crate, but will get knocked down by Zuxi. Still got one player that's going to be left alone. How are you going to be working around that one? It's Jackson just in the open right there. They're getting information on Bigatron. They end it on the final game where they needed it the most and secure the final chicken dinner.
Yeah.
It was huge. They needed to put performance and they showed up to the party.
They are the defending world champions. They've come into this PMWL. They've set standards. They set the bar high. And you know what? They lost that bar towards the end, but now they've reclaimed it. What a game. What an ending. BTR with the chicken dinner.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. And they did it today. That was huge. They did not even have the circle to the advantage so many times. They took down T1, took down You Level Up. That is what we're here for, to enjoy some good old PUBG Mobile esports action. It was huge, and we got so much stuff to break down. We're going to send it for the last time over to our analyst desk.
Hey Dodge, how you getting on? I'm doing it through restream.io. Negative space. Maxon is indeed too OP. Don't let your dreams be dreams, just do it. Although I think that's a little bit like, you know, cheesy, but I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. So, does anybody want to see me casting in 2017? Okay, so let me see if I can find Okay, so this is from I'm trying to think which one I did.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the NACL tonight. So my name is Tree60 No Scope, and tonight we have the Booster Tryhards versus the Celsior Lions. This is going to be one of the division final matchups, and this is going to be huge. So tonight, these teams are playing for the first.
Is Ice on the line as well as
no,
the first seed in the
it's not that.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the NACL.
Some pretty unique.
Put up numbers like that. Early game,
Celeste.
into the late game.
No.
Yeah, Celeste.
Hey, Smack. Ooh, questions. Okay, how did you become such a sexy ginger? Hard to tell. Okay, so I'm trying to find me casting. Okay, maybe this.
Today is a very special day. We're going to be streaming for you guys.
This is Max.
The finals of NACL. The culmination of all these games coming all together in the finals. Going to be having two awesome teams. But before we do talk about these teams, got a special guest today that's going to be joining us, and it's going to be Xenotech. Hello, Xeno. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me.
As we're waiting for the second ban here, like multiple heroes are still very dominant in the 3-0.
It's Max. Okay.
Very dominant hero.
Let me see.
The opportunity to completely save the carries on the side of the Beam regime from death onto the fold. We do.
Very aggressive. And look at that. That's why I said when we only into the draft, if they play aggressive.
Okay. Okay, so it's not that. Okay, maybe this. Yeah, I think this is me.
Saying do peak as their third.
Yeah, this pancake comp is looking a lot like an old school Cloud9 comp.
Okay,
with
so
the Vox Fortress and then whatever support that they can pick up, and it seemed to work.
Capital said, by the way, do you guys actually agree in advance which of you will do the last word after the last match? We take it in terms of like, we've been taking in terms of basically like, you know, whoever, like, as in, yeah, we basically do. Yeah, Capital, to answer your question, yes.
To work for them pretty well, and especially as we look towards vaguely do that when he's stunned, when he's rooted, when he's
it's a minor
harassed, then that's going to make sure that Pancake wins all of these team fights.
Yeah, that's true, and that's what I think. Looking at this vaguely insane comp.
So this is me in February 2018.
Even though
okay?
I know they are a fantastic bunch of players and do have a lot of synergy, Burger, I do risk that the Blackfeather just wasn't the best choice. Although CP Blackfeather will be able to poke from distance, and with the Rose offensive will be able to, let's say, dodge out of an impale quite easily. I just can't help that thinking.
So this is me casting in February 2018.
That would have been able to kite and do damage in the background and actually distract the Fortress would have been a bit of a better choice, because we know that Samuel really has the potential to 2 or even 3v1 an enemy team, especially with the Dragon's Eye strength right now. Fighting Stuffburger,
she came out, so
loading in to the fold between these two teams. I'm gonna put myself out there and say vaguely insane.
You know, I like this comp better.
Our audio isn't balanced.
Thank you very much, Pancake Sir.
He's got 2 weapon blades, so we're gonna flex the shell onto the Rome Fortress, and we see a weapon power jungle lance.
Thank you very much, Pancake Sunrise. Just changing the meta a little bit, just bringing something different for the first game of this series. Weapon power lance can be dangerous, 100% sure, Burger, and I do feel that that
my casting isn't actually that bad. Shit, my casting isn't that bad. Fuck.
And it's played right. You are going to be able to shut down this enemy team. He's going to provide a lot.
I know, right, T-God?
I'm worried that the Fortress isn't necessarily going to provide that much of a defense for the box, but then again, that's what this weapon power lance is going to give, as well as providing aggression. Yeah, the two teams fight over the mid-center. I'm surprised the Fortress go for a Dragon's Blood contract. That is.
Oh, Lazo getting jumped right onto. Ilev actually gets rooted perfectly by Lance, and he's going to be taken out by Vox as Jaziel goes so low. 1-8.
Yeah, man. Okay, that's like nobody knows Vainglory. So, how about the PUBG Mobile Spring Split 2019? Yeah, man, Lancer's OP. PMCO 2019 Spring Split. Wild card. Fuck it. This is kind of where it all started. Hey, no. Hey, look at this. T-God. No chance team. Oh, that's actually Club Open 2020. Actually. How about this, actually? Yeah. Okay. June the 9th. Yeah. This is.
Do you play PUBG Mobile?
You can see the instant karma of 4 members in 1 car. Why would you do that, Elementrix? You're freaking. It's 10 teams. Pretty far away. He has a few. Oh!
This is me, Max casting last year.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today is day 2 and the final day of the PMCO Wildcard Series. And we're about to end it all today.
feels bad, man. It's been a long journey. It's been
a fun journey.
Arduous. It's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been, you know, upsetting in terms of teams not doing as well as we expected.
Also, me without a beard.
Yeah, I know. We've had so many amazing moments, but at the end of the day, it comes down to this. All right, Max. 5 games. So many teams still in the running to claim that top spot. Of course, it's in their control.
No glasses, no beard. Yeah. Well, I was wearing glasses, but I didn't. But because I had got them in February that year, and my eyes were still actually adjusting to having glasses.
Number 1 spot that
so
gives you 9,000
I was also thinner there as well.
Pretty juicy after all.
It's not too bad.
It's not too, I mean, I'll take it. But also on top of that, what do you get? You get yourself a nice
Also, I
spot
keep on
in
adjusting
the
with my
Berlin
headset.
Global Final
It's just
live
stupid.
event later on this year. If you do not remember the rules, what happens for the PMCO Wildcard Series? We talked about it before, yeah. Trust the process. They got the rotation in their mind. They know exactly what they're going to do every single game. Their rotation consists of dropping Nova on Military Island, rotating on the the east bridge, and then rotating above the river. And most of the time, by doing that rotation, you're going to find yourself in the next circle, and no one is really going to stop you because that's not really a famous drop zone, and no one's going to really stop you from rotating inwards.
Yeah, and teams are tending not to really bridge camp. Especially at this stage of the tournament, they're just looking after themselves. And of course, as we move on to the average points for Miramar, of course, we only had 1 game on Miramar, but RG Star Team, they're currently lying in 6th place, and 43 of their 75 points came from Miramar map alone, Maxon.
That means that they got to increase that continuity. They haven't been doing that good overall the games, but Miramar have been working out for them. They waited for an opportunity to pull off a 3-man party at the last
I think we cast really well.
So RG starting, they secured that chicken dinner with 13 kills on top. And then you had No Mercy that was in the bottom section.
Yeah, hype
number 8
from
position.
the PAL.
I was expecting a lot more
because they
from
were in
No
the
Mercy
wildcard region
they
last year.
were so good during the group stage on that map, and they just kind of fell off on that map on Miramar yesterday.
Well, that's the thing. They just disappointed in every game themselves. Not well, okay.
What was your favorite team? You're being hard.
Of course. But they were a little bit disappointing on every map except for that last game in Erangel. And as we move on to Vikendi, Salty Squad being that average point top place right now with 40 points. As you said, they won the first 2 games, which was Sanhok and Vikendi. An absolutely fantastic points average.
Yeah, Salty Squad had 10 extra kills right on top. And Trust the Process still lurking in the shadows, still on Vikendi, not one of their main maps, not one that they're really that comfortable position. Another team just even
of course, finished in last game. Yes, their troubles. But every single other game before that,
I missed
between
this.
2nd and 4th
So
place.
cool.
Still haven't captured a chicken dinner so far in the regional finals, but it's their consistency that has been overall the arcing point. And when you look at the overall point standing average, they went from 18.2 in the semi-finals to 22 points average per game coming into regional. So that's that obvious increase, which is, of course, led them to take 2nd spot.
Let's hope they can change that up a little bit and get some W's finally. But anyways, this is PMCO, the PUBG Mobile Club Open Spring Split, brought to you through the
We're studios in Ukraine, Kiev, Ukraine.
Official smartphone of this split. This is the Vivo V15.
Oh man, this was so cringy. We had to do this.
Got fingerprint unlock with a full HD screen, and you're not recognizing me because I just had KFC before. And this phone also has the nice feature of having a pop-up camera. If you look up there, boom, that's so sexy. It looks so cool. It looks so cool, and then you can take badass selfies. We're not going to look ugly anyways, but that's fine, We'll use Snapchat filters.
Honestly, that gallery is just full of just selfies, just because it's so easy and accessible to get to that camera. That just makes such a huge difference. And of course, if you did check out any of the action yesterday,
can go check out the link down below. clubopen.pubg.
Man. You can tell we're so still trying to, that sharpness between each other, that delay of between me and Max, it's so much slower there than it is now. If that makes sense, it's so much slower.
vivo.com, and if it does pop up, normally you're gonna have the link there.
Normally it does.
Yeah.
Even Vivo's
owner
owner does not
you have
use
all your
Vivo.
stats there. It is perfect. Thank you very much. And you have the VODs also.
The website
you
was
have all
great.
the extra information for the
Maxwell
other
looks
regions.
almost
There's
the
not
same.
only
Of course,
wildcards,
he
you've
always
got,
looks the same.
Middle East, you got EU, you got NA, SA, you got every single region over there. So if you want to choose a team to support, that is the place to go.
Do. And whether you're watching us on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, please hit that like, hit that follow, smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you stay notified when we go live, because there's still loads more PUBG action, PUBG Mobile action to come over the next couple of months, over the next year, because this is something that is not going away, Max, man. PUBG Mobile esports is here, and it's here to take over, and it's here to make some exciting, crazy moments for people around the world.
Because at the end of the day, end of August and early September, what do we have?
I did like that, in fairness.
So you see, we had so much action going on for like what, a month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're gonna have that again. So just get ready. You know, you're gonna have a lot of action coming your way. But anyways, let's refocus on the games. Imperium, we got once again 5 games coming our way. A total of 10 over the series of this regional finals to secure that #1 spot once again for the global finals in Berlin later on this year. Which team do you, like? We said it was going to be pretty close. Because, like, if you're in, like, 11th, 12th position, you can still make it able to ease their way.
Say No Mercy because
of
they're
course,
in 11th place. And they're my boys, my Australian boys.
See, that's where, like, last year, it's not that I was biased, but I wasn't.
They're my boys.
I wasn't professionally unbiased. So it's something
Australian
that,
boys.
you know, I
but
improved on for this year.
Definitely, I want to give a shout out to.
Because you don't need to, Mark.
We're in 5th place.
Suppose you don't need to.
Again, trying to be unbiased, but considering how much they've climbed up from group stage to semi-finals to the regionals and how much they've just constantly improved, if there's a team that I feel...
I think they will in the future, though.
It is
Mark. I think they will.
And, you know, but then again, I'm actually going to say that no team stands out, if that makes sense, because everybody's performs overall.
And, like, I'm not as smooth as well, and also I'm looking down on my notebook a little bit more, whereas now I can remember stuff a little bit more. You know, Kratos and Transfer was from No Mercy Australia. I didn't actually know that, to be honest.
So much more than
not
I
in the
like
spring
they would have
split.
expected going into this tournament.
As like
Your dream team don't have a dream team, you guess,
now
to
he's
be
down to
honest.
16, so of course the level of gameplay is going to be way more even all across the board, and that's why the level of points is like so close to each other. So it's really interesting to see. Anyone can take this game as we're about to jump into game #1. It's going to be on Sandhawk. A lot of action coming your way.
Trajectory in this Sandhawk map, Max, it's going from east to west, well, northeast to southwest. It's given a chance for all these teams to drop in their really prime locations. Paradise Resort is an area where these teams like to land either near or around. Boot Camp, as you know, is Rose's location. I wonder, will any team join them?
I don't think so. Yesterday, teams avoided boot camp, and one team got close to the Star team. They got shut down in 16th position. Well, 15th because headshot.
Yeah, Aaron.
And
Aaron.
If I were RG Star team, I would be
basically,
fearing boot camp. I would just avoid it at all costs. And as you just said, Rose, of course, is going to go for that location. Is there another team behind? No, I thought there was for a second. Yeah. And headshot that didn't spawn in Sandhawk yesterday. They're going to be going right for the land of Camp Alpha for Hattin, and they're going to try and secure that under their location.
Yeah, it's not a bad place for them to start. We do see No Mercy, and I think it is Hype, believe it or not, very close to each other near the Painan. We do look at
was in Painan. Why don't we say near Painan?
A little bit of water.
It's in Painan, you
it's
fucking
nothing
idiot.
actually crazy, I feel, Maxman. Overall standard gives lots of scope for the teams to move into the circle initially, but I actually don't think there's any clear direction that the circle could end up going. So it creates a certain level of uncertainty for the teams, which makes it a little bit exciting for us.
That certain level of uncertainty, it creates that level of uncertainty. God damn it,
at this point in time, you don't know really what's going to go on. What you're expecting yesterday, and which was really nice, is that early on, even though Sandhawk is a 4x4 map, is extremely small, so you have more chances of meeting enemy teams and to shut them down early. Right now, we're going to have actually a little bit of an early fight, with Jet from Nova Esport getting shut down instantly by RG Star Team. Aim Locker going to be increasing his KDA for himself. That is one interesting move, especially from Nova Esport, dropping split.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting in terms of it's not what we're used to seeing them do. They've very much stayed as a unit.
I really wasn't as a lot of Nepali teams. I really wasn't as confident in casting than as I am now.
So early on in this game,
I sound way more confident now than I did then.
Also, yesterday on Sandhawk, we had Team Nova Esport. They faced up against Elementrix, and they got a player on their side that got flushed instantly by one member of Elementrix, and that created straight off the bat a disadvantage, and they were not able to recuperate after that. So Nova Esport, like so far, is like copy-paste their game on Sandhawk so far, even though we're just a few minutes in. It's not off to a good start for Nova Esport, so let's see if they can actually deal and in. It's not off to a good start for Nova Esport, so let's see if they can actually deal
as well.
And make up for that, as Onyx is going to be around the corner.
Yeah, plus when we look at how they did in the semi-finals compared to the regional
Maxim had the same flow. Yeah, but if anything, he's improved also heavily.
In the semi-finals,
Elementrix.
Oh,
man.
30, whereas right now they're lying on an average points per game of 18.2. That's nearly cut in half, Maxim. That's basically like them starting with 2 players every single game now compared to 4 in the semi. So, hey, look, we know what they can do. Let's see if they can pull out of the bag. We've seen plenty of teams win with 3-man squad in these games.
Even 1-man squad. That happens in a group stage and semi-finals, so definitely not over for Nova Esport, just not off to a good start. No matter Warriors.
Okay.
Of the teams
it was a good time, T-God. It was a good time.
Finals, but they were just lurking in the shadows as always, and this time they just stomping their feet in the ground and saying, okay, we want this #1 spot. We want to go to Berlin. We want to see those German girls, and we want to see what's up over there.
Want to see those German girls. And I saw the potential that Nomad Warriors had in day 1. I recognize them as
Nomad Warriors are a fantastic team.
Potential. And it took them a while. It took them up to basically the last 2 weeks. Even the last week to really start
Camp to win as well.
And they pulled in some great performances.
Another Nepali team.
They're lying in second, only 8 points behind Salty, who are in first.
Talking about good performances, I'm going to tell you about bad performances as we're looking over to Camp to win. I'm sorry, that's a little bit harsh, but Camp to win, they're in 15th position. They have been...
Okay. Nostalgia has been driven through. I think it's time to end this stream, boys and girls. I think it's time to so to speak, say goodbye. Also, because I'm really hungry and I want to eat some food. So, yeah. Thank you all very much for tuning into the stream and just hanging out with me. To be honest, while I did a little bit of VOD reviewing and kind of went over a couple of things. It definitely wasn't as bad as I probably had in my head, but there's definitely a lot of elements to there's a lot of elements that I got wrong in the first couple of games of Sunday, which I really shouldn't have. But these things happen, and for the finals, me and Max are going to really just go back to what we do best, which is which is everything that goes on. But we're gonna smash it. Really looking forward to it. So final start Thursday. Get ready. This is the PMWL, the PUBG Mobile World League East Finals. I cannot wait. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you all soon.